fast life meets the fast lane.
Yeah.
You're now tuned into Bars and Hoops Radio. Where the world of hip-hop and sports live.
Dropping the clutch and then I hit the gas. Wheels screeching, tires burning, I'm flying past. Gotta get home quick, don't wanna miss the class. They schooling you on whips and how to make them fast. Talking about everything from cars to plane. What's hot, what's next, and how to flip the game. They talk in my language, we speak the same. That whip talk complex, but yet they keep it plain. From the news, the interviews, they keep it cool. They give reviews, everything from parts to tools. Can't lose, come to whips, they not no fools. Don't miss the show, the start time is noon. The bearded one, S.I Shawn, they crazy though. You can't miss it, tune in to Rally Radio.
Where the fast life meets the fast lane.
Woo, 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 woo. I know y'all like stop being so excited. But we made it, man. It was
That's
a
a
dog
fact.
fight outside, son.
Yo, it's always a dog fight, though.
Yo, it get warm, forget it.
Yeah, it's crazy, son.
Forget it. It got warm outside. Cats started wilding, but we made it early.
Factory.
Shout to everybody who's tuned in, paying attention. You already know what it is, man. It's your favorite
Let's go.
two-man crew, Paul.
Let's go. Yo, it's
Rally
crazy.
Radio.
Let's go.
It's the bearded one here.
S.I Shawn, baby. Let's do it.
And we are in the building. We appreciate everybody for tuning in and rocking with us. You already know what it is.
Factory.
We are here in the building. Let me tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
If it ain't one thing,
Mm-hmm.
it's a mother love another. He
That's
wasn't
it.
lying when he said that.
That's the truth.
Okay,
That's
Snoop,
the truth.
say it again, brother.
That is the absolute truth.
Shout out to everybody who's tuned in, paying attention. Don't forget, drop a like, drop a comment so we can shout you out. You already know what it is, man. We
Mhm.
appreciate everybody for tuning in. We
Mhm.
had one hell of a time last week.
Yeah, right?
If you was here for the show, you loved it.
Factory.
But if you went on the run last week, you really loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Into the wilderness. Shout to my guy, Miller Time.
Miller Tom, he was out there running with us.
Miller Time NYC was out there running hard with the F-150.
Yo.
Not even support vehicle because he was wilding.
Yeah.
Heard he was drifting turns in the rain. Drifting turns in the rain.
That's
I
a
can't
fact.
believe the joy it gives me.
I'm telling
He was
you.
wilding, son. Shout out to my guy Miller, man.
Let's go.
One heck of a drive, man. I'm gonna tell you, I needed that, man.
Now
I
it was
needed
definitely a much needed run.
I needed that.
Absolutely.
Got a chance to see what the type bar is all about.
Mm-hmm.
And S.I Shawn over here got
Yeah.
a chance to see what happens when you hit turns consecutively with stock brakes. Not for nothing, the
Mhm.
brakes held up crazy, but could
Factory.
you please just
Factory.
talk
Mhm.
about that a little bit, though?
So, you know, the SI did phenomenal as I thought it would. However, though, absolutely so the car right now has 92,000 miles on it, right?
Go ahead. I didn't even know it had that much.
Yeah, 92,000 miles. Stock brakes and all that, right? Stock brakes are phenomenal. However, though, I was chasing Dr. Phil and his man with the C5 vet. These guys, I guess that's like they home. That's
what they do every week.
they was doing their thing up there. So, you know, I'm on the SI. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I was definitely on the SI 100%. Yo, we going through these turns, in and out, up, down through the turns, hitting the brakes hard. I'm telling you, I'm going to these corners.
Wow.
ODing though, like I'm on throttle going to these
Full throttle.
full boost, right? 20 pounds of boost, spiking every time, right? Hitting the brakes, right? Yo, you know what's so crazy? This is why I kind of really enjoy the car. When you really start going hard on the car,
Sheesh.
yeah, right,
Continue on.
right. When you start really going for yours,
Uh-huh.
she starts to show you like, yo, this is what I'm about. I like this.
Mm.
So I'll say all to say this. Them brakes was smoking, literally though.
Literally.
Like I'm looking out the side of I'm looking out the my window, driver's side window. I'm like, yo, what is this smoke? Whose is that?
It's yours.
It's mine. son.
It's yours. Look, yours, fool.
But you know what was crazy? I still had brake left.
I give it to you.
Yo, I still had, because keep in mind, it didn't, remember, when you think about it, it didn't just start smoking and getting hot right when we stopped.
No,
It been was doing that.
that's true.
Yo, and I still had brake left, kid.
I can't
Still
front.
had brake. I'm like, yo, this car never ceases to amaze me, son.
I can't front. I was shocked.
I'm telling you, man, it's a great, I would just say now on my way in, right? I'm like, you know what? This car's a great daily, but it's even better when you know it got a second nature to it, though.
Ooh.
Like, you think it's just, You think it's just running along with his cool little spoiler and wheels on? Nah, it's a lot more to this than that. Like, and that's what I love about the dual nature of the car, I guess, right? I guess that's the part I really like enjoy about it. But that run was epic though. Shout out to Dr. Phil. Let's go.
Again.
Yo, telling you, son.
Shout to Dr. Phil.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, now that we here, shout to Clarence Alexander who's in
go.
the building early.
Let's go.
Shout to my guy Darth Spalding in the
100%.
building early.
100%.
And shout to my guy SP the Dawn in the building early. You already know what it is. Gentlemen, we appreciate you. And to all the fathers out there, expected
100%.
fathers or father figures in someone's life, happy Father's Day.
Yeah, factory, 100%, man. Shout out to y'all doing your thing out there. You know, not for nothing. Don't ever forget that you important. That's a fact. Very important.
That's a fact. I'll say this.
Yeah.
Definitely interesting. Definitely interesting. But with that being said, that's good. That's good. With that being said, with that being said, we are in the building and we are enjoying the festivities.
Let's go.
Pre-Father's Day rituals, but that's what also brings us up to today's show. Today is not your dad's car culture. I really screwed that up. I meant to say today's car culture is not your daddy's car culture. That's really what we was trying to say.
Yeah. That's what
today is not your dad's car culture sounds crazy. But at the end of the day, it still means the same thing. The car culture these days is different. It's definitely different from back in the day, how things was. You can tell by the way that certain things went on. You know what
absolutely,
I mean?
absolutely.
It's like now it's like it's getting real weird out here. People out here running for police for fun.
Yo.
Like you got to be a real weird individual to even enjoy something like that. Or dudes is doing. Yo, I saw this video the other day and I posted it too. Don't forget, if you don't follow us on Instagram, follow us on Instagram at GutterballRally and also at Rally Radio Podcast. Don't forget, you know where to find us, right? In the midst of me looking at this video, the guy, you know, they're having these silly little takeovers in the middle of the street.
Okay.
And as they doing the takeover, right? The guy, I guess I want to say, it starts spinning.
Yeah.
Good?
Yeah, I'm cool.
It starts spinning, and the rear end is coming towards them. Pause.
Sheesh.
That was
yeah. Where's the pace car at? Son, yellow flags.
Whoops.
Yo.
The rear, as the rear of the car starts coming towards him, he just jumps. And when he jumped, he cleared it.
Yeah.
And he landed on the ground. The man turned around, put his hands up like he just performed at the Oscars or something, son. Cats
Yo,
like,
I seen that, son.
I said, yo, these cats is bugging, son. Yo, when that's a credit,
it's crazy, son.
Son, that's crazy, son.
This is what I mean, man. Like all this, I don't understand. Like what type of gratification people get out of it. I don't understand it. Like I don't get it.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't get it.
Shout to Shy, he's in the building too.
Let's go.
Early. Like I said, this is not your daddy's car culture because dad wasn't doing that. Slapped you in the back of your head. He
That's
said,
a
what
fact.
the hell is wrong with you, boy?
I'm telling you, man. It's just meanwhile, you know, the dads back in the day, they over here drag racing, getting right. We over here jumping over back of cars.
Yo, like we're really bored. That's yo, son.
I think that's what it comes down to.
You
though.
gotta be a real bored individual, son.
That's what I mean. Like the car culture is not even entertaining as it once was.
It's suicide.
Literally though, like you gotta have a near-death experience. Not even driving.
Yo,
just be there. Near-death experience trying to jump over the car. What are you doing?
Son, and I mean, he had his legs, knees to chest. He cleared on his chest. Shout to everybody who's been paying attention. Shout to my guy Mark Camperfor. Happy Father's Day to you too as well. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, and also father figures. You are just as important, and that's why today's show is what it is. Today's car culture is not your daddy's car culture. I know it's screwed up on the title, but you know what I mean. Keep going.
Yeah, you know, it's like I feel like he was training for that though. He was training, so he's timing and everything. I see him like, yo, why is he still right there? He timed it.
Yo,
waiting.
And not only that, he clears the car, just turns around like,
and everybody started praising him. I was
winning. Yo, if you ever saw that part of Fast and Furious with Dom is talking and Brian?
Yo, that's exactly how it was, though. That's exactly how it was.
He turned around like, winning's winning.
Yo, son, I was like, oh man, son.
But that's why I said it's not your daddy's car culture these days. You know, when you think about it, I see some of the old pictures, they was really setting up races, kid. Big tires coming out, late night Friday in a conspicuous part of the city, or for sure. Going out into the country. Yeah. And they would drag race, and the cops respected it, man. The cops respected it. They come breaking nothing up. They probably got in their own little fist fights and all that out there. Yeah. And they settled it, and they went home, had a brew, had a black eye, and lost money, but they was back the next week. You feel what I'm saying? With the same muscle car with a little bit of upgrade.
That's a fact.
And that's why I respect the American car culture from then. I do. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Because it's like we didn't really adopt that. And you know, a lot of guys is like, oh, yo, you know, this is this. And listen, to not know your history, you doomed to repeat it.
Factor.
Right? Sheesh. To not know your history, you doomed to repeat it. And those same things that drug all of those cars down, that muscle car era is happening right now in front of everybody.
It literally is, though.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows about the leaded gas and how we can't have these gas guzzlers around and stuff like that. And it created that little era where those cars were put to pasture.
That's a fact.
Forget about that.
See, you know, it's crazy, right? They go away, they try to make a comeback, but they never last. Like the cars never stick around.
You know why?
Why is that?
Because at the end of the day, unicorns don't live forever.
That's true.
Some of these cars are just not meant to be here forever. I get it.
I think a lot of them stay longer than they actually should.
I can believe that. Build on that a little bit.
I say that because you look at a car like the like for instance, right? The Acura Integra. Let's go back to the Acura Integra.
Let's go.
If you ask me, that car started a wave in the automotive industry, right?
What made you choose the Acura Integra? That's actually interesting.
Because look what happened when they brought it back. It looks like everything else in the lineup. When at a point in time, it looked like nothing in the lineup at all. Everything had its own distinctive look. That made it epic, right? And on top of that, the Integra also at a point in time came with an all-wheel drive system, real-time all-wheel drive system.
That it did,
right? What the trim came with the GSR, ridiculous. Type R over the top,
yo,
right? It hit the pinnacle of Integra. It was done.
It's true.
And then they try to keep it around a little bit longer for the RSX, right? Over there in Japan, it was Integra or whatever, blah blah blah.
Yes,
it hit the pinnacle, son.
I gotta say something though. First off, shout to my guy DJ Who You.
Let's go, Who You.
Who is out here doing God's work, selling these drinks. Happy Father's Day to you.
That's a fact. Let's go.
We just happened to crack the seal. I was like, oh, it's Father's Day.
So it's Father's Day.
Don't forget, check my man DJ Who You. He will be back on Bars and Hoops Radio at 7 p.m. Spinning records live. Don't forget.
Let's go.
Get a chance, check him out.
Let's go.
Oh man, and if you can, you see him in the street. Don't pop the trunk and go in the cooler, man, because this joint is real. But I will say in the meantime, this is why I say like the Acura Integra, right? I like that car. So I feel like that car, the first one I ever seen was actually, or that I paid attention, was the GSR. You know, there was this guy on the airport. He had one, and he had it. I mean, at that time, remember, at that time, we talking about 98, 99, around that time. So you figured that have a GSR, and it was brand new. It was manual.
This is what I'm saying, though. Like,
you know what I'm saying? And he had work to it. And what's work at that time?
I mean, it depends, though. Like, it might have been a little bit harder to get stuff.
Yeah.
But still, though, you had suspension.
Yes.
You have full exhaust headers, hell turbochargers still. Like, you still have all this crazy stuff.
Nah. Keep it a buck with you. The turbocharger was not that popular back then.
Yeah, but you know, you could have boosted it though.
You could have. It was really expensive.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like it still was there though, you know.
Yes.
But again, like you said, you still had, you know, top of the engines built.
Yes.
You still had things like that going on.
So at that time, right? Only thing that I could muster was that he definitely had a cold ear. Yeah, headers. Yeah, exhaust.
Full exhaust.
Ooh. He had suspension.
Yeah.
And the car itself was pretty powerful.
So I'm telling you.
As it was, you know what I mean? Like it was just a grand thing. And I think about it now, like, yeah, it kind of did change things because it was front wheel drive, but you would have never like the way it moved, it was pretty quick.
See, and that's why I brought it up as one of those cars. I feel like they hit their pinnacle and they should have just never came back. You know what I'm saying? Just imagine having one of those brand new at the time. Having one of those brand new would be crazy, right? And on top of that, it was Acura brand. You know, the Acura supposed to be the luxurious model.
Yes.
And the car was like that. So that's what also took me away with the car. I'm like, damn, so I'm like, it's a Acura. It's supposed to be the luxurious brand, but they got one set up like this.
Yeah.
So that's why I brought up the Integra, man. I feel like it was one of those cars that hit its pinnacle and shouldn't have even came back.
That's a fact.
Shouldn't even came back.
Shout out to SI.
Let's go.
If I gotta say it, that's actually pretty good. It's actually pretty good.
Because look at the one that's out now. Don't get me wrong. Just because it's 6-speed, I could rock with it now. I thought about it. I could rock with it now. But just think about it, though. Again, it's not meant to be the car of last year or the older car, but it still don't give you that pizzazz, that's an Integra. Ooh, what model is that? It's not that.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's funny that you said that, because if you ever seen an Integra of yesteryear to that, the size is totally different.
On top of that, this is what I'm saying.
Why is that car so much bigger? Like, even the Integra, you sitting next to my Type R is bigger.
Yeah, this is what I mean.
So it's definitely something to think about, man. With that being said,
let's go.
You already know how we get down. You know what it is. It's the bearded one here. S.I Shawn is in the building.
Let's go.
And we are here. We definitely gonna be talking about the run that we took last week. It was very interesting. Shout to my guy Aaron Raw, who's in the building early.
Let's do it.
Let's go. Shout to my guy Aaron. He would have loved that run last week. But with that being said, we're gonna jump right in. We got a lot of news for you too. A lot of things going on. You know, we got to understeer. Yes, you know, we have a Legends of Auto. Yes, but you know we really have.
What's that?
We really have a great audience out there. Thanks to everybody who pays attention. So with that being said, you got any shout outs you want to give?
I just want to shout out to everybody who's been rocking with us, spreading the word. We really appreciate that, yo, for a fact. And don't forget, man, keep telling them, keep letting those two guys out here doing what's right for the car culture. Let's go.
That's a fact. Shout out to S.I Shawn. I wanted to give a shout out. First of all, shout out to Dr. Phil.
100%.
Tremendous. Shout out to some of our people who we met out there.
Let's go.
The 350Z Nismo.
Oh man, that was wicked.
That was a mean car.
Yeah, that was nice.
And shout to the white Honda Fit that's out there running them. He said this is a momentum car, so I got to keep my momentum up, my inertia. I was like, oh, this guy's serious. I can see the floor. I can see the street in his car. Crazy. Definitely stripped down to a T. A Honda Fit, clean.
Nice. It was nice,
at the end of the day, you can see his purpose built. And that's what I really liked about it. So shout to them. Shout to everybody who took a run with us last week. If you didn't go last week, don't forget, we're going to have another one. But we do keep the location disclosed.
Factory.
If you haven't went, you won't know where it is, because we don't want to give up Smurfs Village. I don't care what nobody say. Had a good time with the Type R. Actually, as I was driving the Type R, I started to realize, man, like, I can't wait to start putting work in. So don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, because next week we will have a video for you, something we've been working on. I know I've been talking about going to do a wheel reveal. I got some new wheels for the car. I want to show it to y'all. So, but before we even do that, we want to show you the car itself. So we're introducing it to the channel. So don't forget, subscribe, like, drop a comment if you can,
100%.
and share that. So with that being said, we're going to jump right in. You ready to jump into the show, kid?
Let's go.
You already know what it is. We are here. I don't know what happened there. Now, if you tuned in last week, we got a little bit of a good show. A little recap, kid. What you got?
So for the recap for last week, right? So it's pretty interesting. The topics we talked about.
Yes.
Governor Hochul suspends congestion pricing.
That is
why?
It's all part of the scheme.
I'm telling you, man. On top of that, though, she had fired to her rear end, though, because it was a couple, unions and a couple people was not going for it.
They can't do nothing about it, though.
But that's interesting, though, man. Like they had us to a point where we thought that they were coming up with another scheme. So they hit us with the smoke and mirrors, because they ain't done.
They not done by far. And
remember
when I gotta stop the music.
Let's go.
Because remember when I said, you know what? Was it smoke and mirrors? Was it a scam the whole time just to put license plate readers up? Guess what happened in Staten Island the next day that they just finally revealed on the news?
What's that?
That the Gothos and the Outer Bridge now have license plate readers installed on the bridge. And you know why they said they did it?
Wow.
They said they did it because crime is up, and they were making sure that if somebody steals a car, they can't go from point A to point B. And they get to give out tickets just in case if they could snatch you off the thing and get your registration.
Of course.
So it's all, and that's why I said, yo, isn't that something? I said it just so happens that okay, we just got license plate readers now, and now they got license plate readers on the Gothos. It's coming. I'm telling you, the congestion pricing was just a smoke and mirror. It was like, yo, we gonna do this because think about it. She was preaching it so hard. Now to come to find out. Mayor Adams is saying that Mayor Adams is saying that she was talking to him about canceling it for weeks. He said that. He said, yeah, she said that we and her had a conversation about canceling congestion pricing weeks ago. You know, Mayor Two Fathoms or whatever. He be, I just want to say it. No, I'm gonna stop playing. But he definitely talked about it. What's your thoughts on that, kid?
It's just funny how they just be running these games with us, man.
Sure.
They running these games and they hoping, maybe they're not even hoping, but we not even doing anything about it. So they just want to see what they could get across and what they could get past. And we just gonna probably just sit back and let them abuse us, take all our hard-earned money, and just be like, yo, what else you got?
Give me your fucking money.
That's what it seems like to me. It's like every time I turn around, man, they claim it's always for our good. Something's always for our good. How you said it last week? They create the problem and then they solve the problem
and sell it back to you.
Yo, how
JD said? He said take a cat's brick, slap him, then you sell it back to him. Like,
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, it's crazy out here.
What else we got in the recap, kid?
Man, these people is wild. Oh man, this one's pretty wild. If y'all didn't hear this one, Willow Spring track is for sale.
Wow.
Like we said here on Rally Radio numerous of times, if y'all feel like donating to our Cash App so we can get this racetrack popping for y'all, please don't be shy.
Don't be shy.
Don't let it go.
Matter of fact, if you don't feel like doing that, we can do cash and carry.
Factory.
Give me the money in my hand.
If you got even if you got 20 cows, send them in. We pitch them. We get something for it. That's still a form of currency somewhere.
You got some old car parts you want to get rid of? Send them on in.
That's it. That is it, man. But yo, that's really wild, man. Another racetrack.
Gone.
Almost gone, but it seems like they don't want to completely erase the track as of yet, because apparently it's out in the middle of the desert, blah blah blah. But however, though, that still don't stop people from doing whatever they want to do. If they don't want a racetrack there, if their goal is to not have this racetrack, it won't be no racetrack, bro.
And you know what cracks me up, man? When you watch that movie Cars,
yeah,
it takes place in Radiator Springs.
Yeah,
I thought that was crazy. Because I was saying to myself, like, Willow Springs is a hot track, and when you see anybody that normally races there, the first thing they complain about is overheating, and it's funny that they called it Radiator Springs. I just thought it was crazy. I don't get me, you know what I'm saying? I was thinking, I'm sorry. But yeah, man, I didn't even cut you off. What else you got?
It's all good. Freaking, we got to visit that track, though. We got to go. I ain't gonna lie, it's a number of things, GutterballRally, Rally Video has, we have to do. That's a fact.
He's right about that.
100%. Another wild one from last week. Kia recalls Telluride SUVs, telling everybody to park them outside.
The fact that it's called Telluride, I don't like it.
I'm telling you, so it reminds me of Accessoride. It's like, yo, you gotta be, like, Telluride, what is that? I'm telling you, it reminds me of like, just like you gotta be, one leg, one arm kind of deal. Get behind. I don't know. I didn't want to go there. That's how I was feeling about it. But the crazy part about the recall is your seat will catch on fire.
That's hot fire. Your seat, God.
The driver's seat will go up in smoke.
Yo, y'all still want that? Shout to my guy.
Y'all still want that.
Yo, look. Who's in the hot seat?
Yeah. What's amazing though? I feel like if manufacturers, right, was solely so, because I was thinking about it, because even when we was up at the run, Marlon made some sense. Marlon was like, yo, why these cars got all these buttons and functions for sport mode and this mode and that mode? Why not just make the car what the car is supposed to be? So I say all to say this. If manufacturers was solely focused on, I don't want to be biased here, but like performance-oriented vehicles, we wouldn't have none of these problems. Huh?
This is true.
We wouldn't have none of these problems.
I always said to myself, why they don't come with strut tower balls? Like something like a strut tower bar that can save your life. I mean, if it stops the car from body roll.
Yeah, right. Like it reduces
doesn't
stuff
come
like
with
that. That's kind of safe. That's like a safety equipment.
I always said like it's pretty cheap.
Yeah,
Like $100.
but I guess you do 100 times, you know.
$1 billion?
Yeah,
But they only gonna add 500 to every car that they
that's
sell.
true.
with it.
That's
You're
true.
gonna make money. Very interesting ordeal.
It is, man.
Shout out
It
to everybody who's there paying attention. Don't forget, drop a like, drop a comment so we can shout you out. You already know what it is, man. Listen, I gotta say this real quick too.
Mhm.
Also, one of the things we talked about last week, and I wanted to get into a little bit that we really didn't get a chance to, know, but it was HKS building a crate engine for the GR Corolla.
No, we talked about that.
We did talk about it, but we didn't get too crazy
Talk
with
about
it.
it.
Because I feel like, it's like crate engines is probably where it's gonna be next.
Damn,
Like it's not gonna be cars that we're gonna be buying.
but yo, the crate engines is like 30-20 though.
I mean, if you spend $500 on a car, $500,
Nah, you gotta
dollars.
Yeah, you got a point. But come on, it's not feasible yet. I feel like not no more right now at this point. Like
I'll tell you what. Just thinking about it, the fact that HKS built it.
I love it.
That was one of the
I'm
parts
sorry,
that
I
we
love
really
it, son.
loved, right?
I'm biased. I love it. So once I hear like a manufacturer like that,
And a super JDM, like,
that's what I'm saying. Doing something like
icon.
yo, that's just like Skunk 2 with a crate engine.
Buying it.
Spoon.
Even though Skunk 2 is American. Skunk 2 is American.
Yo, you're lying.
No. Skunk 2 is American.
You trying to tell me my whole life for the last 17 years, I thought Skunk 2 was JDM.
Nah. It's just that it's actually an American company. But they were the first to work with the Japanese vehicles here. They were one of, especially Honda.
Because when you say that, you say Skunk 2 is American. I don't see no Skunk 2 on Camaros, no Mustangs. I don't see no Skunk 2.
No, they was only for imports though, even though it was American.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I guess what threw me. Okay.
But you know what? That just goes to show the dedication to what they was doing early.
That goes to show you that them JDM cars was highly tunable.
Oh yeah,
I think that's what that really.
Because now when you at that time, they had their own tuners, they had their own things that they had overseas, but over here, we had AEM.
Yeah, but AM is American too.
Yes, AEM.
Oh, that's crazy.
You had Skunk 2. You had a lot of different companies that if you couldn't afford the high priced JDM version, they had those versions as well.
I like those versions. Like I remember when I had my Integra. Speaking of Integras, I had my my LS 2000 LS, full Skunk 2 intake manifold, hot, nice RSR headers, solid mount. The car, transaxle brace. The car was nice. It was cool. But yeah, carry on.
Yeah. But shout out to everybody who took their paying attention. You already know what it is. We're going to jump right into the show now. We about to make it happen. We talking about it today. Today's car culture is not your daddy's car culture. Want to see what you got to say about that. Don't forget you drop it in the comments, the phones. We take a shot. If it works, it works. If it don't, well, you already know.
Let's go.
But with that being said, man, we're going to jump right in. So here we go.
Weekly facts. Auto news for all the listeners, only on Rally Radio.
All right, you already know what it is, man. It's the bearded one here. S.I Shawn is in the building. And with that being said, we're going to set it off early. So it looks like Virginia's governor has had enough of the California emission standards.
Sheesh.
Now, for those that don't know, California is the totality between putting out a lot of these emissions things. They do have their own board, which is called CARB, Commissions. No, what is it?
I thought it was California
Air Review Board or something like that, right? So automatically what they adopt, 17 states automatically adopt, New York being one of them. Well, it looks like Virginia has had enough, and the governor says he will abandon California's emission standards. He said, once again, Virginia is declaring its independence. Governor Glenn Youngkin announced Wednesday that Virginia will abandon California's stringent vehicle emissions rules aimed at reducing carbon pollution at the end of the year when that state's current regulations expire. In response to a request from Youngkin and Senate Republican leader Ryan McDougal, Attorney General Jason Miara's opinion issued Tuesday states that Virginia isn't required to comply with the new mandates adopted by the California Air Resources Board set to take effect January 1st. It looks like Youngkin, he was a Republican, said in a statement that Virginia deserved to choose which vehicles fit their needs and called the idea that government should tell people what kind of car they can buy fundamentally wrong. Once again, Virginia's declaring independence, this time from a misguided electric vehicle mandate imposed by unelected leaders nearly 3,000 miles away from the Commonwealth. Wow.
Sheesh.
What's your thoughts on that? First off, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to give him a shout out.
Absolutely. I agree.
Give him a shout out.
I agree.
And reason being is because at the end of the day, again, the people that's selling it to you don't even believe in it. The people that's selling you these EVs don't even believe in them. They're like, damn, these things are definitely gonna come back. They wrong, something broke, who knows what it is.
Yeah.
But the fact that the mere fact that you're forcing people to have it, I said it once and I'll say it again.
Mm-hmm.
If you really want to push an electric vehicle on people, show them what it's capable of. Make them city vehicles first. Let them see how it handles the everyday rigors of being a city vehicle. Because one thing we know about city vehicles is that the workers that drive them don't give a damn about it.
That's a fact. See, that's like a perfect test run.
Yeah. So they're going to get in, start it up, turn it off, start it up again.
Hit every pothole they see. They don't even see. They're going to be running into stuff. That's what you got to do.
Then when the battery charging dies and then they got, people get to see for themselves. But you can't just be like, yo, here. And I'm glad that the Virginia governor is stepping up for that. I mean, it is what it is. Some people look at it as something as small as emissions to them, but at the end of the day, they live in a place where their weather can be harsh. The winters can be harsh.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The summer, they need something that's more reliable. And we all know that EV doesn't spell reliable.
Nah, not even close. Not even close.
Not even close. If you look in the dictionary, it's not what it says. But
that's a fact.
What's your thoughts on that, kid?
I agree with you, man, because not for nothing, like this governor is probably actually starting to see it. Like, California's over here coming up with their own rules.
Yes.
For what? When, like you said, the product is not even good.
Right.
But that also allows me to think a little bit more like, what are they really trying to do then? Because why are they still trying to push this agenda, knowing this agenda will come back and bite them?
Well, you know what? I have a firm belief.
Is it like a long-term game or is it a short-term game?
I think they're just doing what they think the voters want.
Again, who's these voters? These tree huggers?
Yes. These tree huggers, you got a lot. My thing is, it's just a lot of people. See, remember, California represents a democratic city that wants to get rid of cars. They've already said they want carless cities. New York is one of them. They one of them kind of places too. They want to get rid of the cars and we just want this, and it ruins cities, and that's how they feel. That's fine. But to have the whole world adopted is crazy. Shout to Shy says, so Mayor Veneers knew they was gonna kill the emissions thing. Yes. Not the emissions thing, he knew that they was gonna kill the congestion pricing thing. Mm-hmm. But I will say this, I think that it's only fair, man. Let people decide what they want.
You know what, you're right. So okay, when we talk about the city, right?
Yes.
What is the city exactly like? What is really in the city? Like buildings, people, right?
They like to walk. They don't want cars blocking and parking, and they say emissions and honking of the horn. If you ever been to the city, if you ever been to Long Island City, take a run over there, what it used to be versus what it is now.
Yeah, absolutely.
You go over there, there's no parking, everybody's walking. It looked like one of them kind of like I call it like a fake place.
Yeah, I agree. I know what you're talking about. Because
you don't look like nobody raising no kids over there. It just looked like one of them kind of places that you young.
It looked fabricated.
Right. It looked like it's fake. Like you young, you want to be an executive, you single, you ain't got no family. That's where you want to be. You want to be in that part of the city.
Yeah.
But when you have a wife, kids, you're going to need a car that when you go down there and start it up, it work.
Some sort of interest. Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't know. To me, it's just a bunch of talk.
You know what? The way how the vehicles run so clean now, you ain't getting no cleaner than this, B. This is it.
So don't let them tell it, because Biden just remember. I think it was 51 miles to the gallon that they won about 23. He knocked it down to 38. He's a clown.
I'm trying to understand. It's like you said, to force it on everybody, that's a whole different ball game. To force it on everybody is a whole different ball game. Like, I don't understand. But I'm glad the Virginia, governor, nah, listen, y'all, we done with this.
Standing up.
We done with this. He probably not even into the cars, but he probably figured out, this is silly.
Well, I'll tell you what. You know who else is standing up? Shout to Ferrari. We're going to get right into that, too. You already know how we get down, man. Okay. Shout to Ferrari, a.k.a. V Twizzy, a.k.a. Red is my product, AKA the galloping horse on the front, runs. Looks like Ferrari plans to keep the V12 alive for as long as regulations allow. I love it.
You know what's crazy?
Let's go.
Another thing that bothers me.
Let's go.
They don't even mass produce these cars. So why are they even in a conversation? Why? They don't even put out enough, let alone their emissions.
So they out there trying to get every engine by engine.
For real. It's like I don't even understand. It's like I get it. If you know what's wild, if y'all putting out, let's say your whole lineup is V8s or V10s, then okay, I can see why you maybe, I guess. But if you dropping 4 cylinders, flat 4s, inline 6s, flat 6s, leave them alone. V12, V10s, let them be. It ain't gonna be 13,000 of them running around. It's just not gonna happen like that.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Let's go.
Ferrari said, we will produce naturally aspirated V12s until the law no longer allows us to. And this is confirmed by Emmanuel Carinado, Ferrari's global marketing director, in an interview with an Australian website car expert. He added that synthetic fuels could help extend the 12-cylinder shelf life. Arch rival Lamborghini remains committed to the naturally aspirated V12 as well. But how long these companies can continue making 12-cylinder engines without summoning a dark cloud of disapproval from regulators begins unseen. So, with that being said, we already talked about it a little bit.
Yeah,
right? We already talked about it a little bit as far as them wanting to kill the V12 for Lamborghini Ferrari. But Italy, remember, Italy put out. They went to bat with a law,
for sure,
saying that because the V12 from those cars are considered part of their culture,
for sure. That's
there's no reason why they should have to give it up, and they're still fighting that fight. So shout to them.
But that's what I mean. Like, how you got manufacturers like that in the fight when they don't even produce? Lamborghini just sold 10,000 cars finally, like last year, something like that. 10,000. They just sold 10,000 cars. So why are they even in a conversation? Like, they should be absolutely left alone. Like yo, forget about them, man. They're not even selling. They're not even producing a bunch.
But that's
of these.
class warfare now.
That is.
And there we go. Now, if you ain't rich enough to have a Ferrari, you driving a electric vehicle.
Nah, see, no. I'm not saying
stuck with it.
Nah, no way.
You broke, son. I don't know what to tell you. Well, listen, man. You know I want a gas car. Can you afford it, my brother? Man, that's how it's gonna look. I tell you what.
Yeah.
And this is crazy, and I'm gonna look it up. How many of these how many of these world leaders drive around in electric vehicles when it comes to protecting them? Ooh, it's a good question.
Yeah, it's a real good question.
Because when you need that thing to go when it's time to go, and God forbid somebody is like running down on them, and they got to get up out of there in the electric cars like need charge. Woo! Charge, all right. Charge the manufacturer who made it. Shout out to everybody too, they're paying attention. With that being said, man, that's definitely something to think about. First off, I'm happy for Ferrari.
Absolutely.
Because the V12 is an icon. I don't care what nobody says. The V12 is an icon. High revving V12. Nasty work. Is that how we say it?
Yeah.
Nasty work.
Factory.
I'm just glad that the company's actually fighting to keep it. It reminds me of another 2 companies out there fighting to keep their word.
Yeah.
Toyota and Porsche, along with Ford. Honorable mention.
You know, that's what I was about to say. It's like they should leave all the engines alone. All of them. Like you said, let the people choose. Put them out there. Let them choose, right? Furthermore, how about we make these garbage trucks EV?
Yeah. Let's really get rid of the let's make a cruise boat electric.
Yeah, like let's really get to it. Let's really get to the emissions problem. You know what I'm saying?
They won't do that. Shout to my guy Zoom for Zoom. He's in the
Let's
building
go.
Early. Shout to my guy Zoom for Zoom. He's tuned in early. We was out there in the mountains last week. That was tremendous.
In the wilderness. Factory.
Wilderness. My car needs a serious detail behind that too. I don't know about y'all's, but if your car needs a detail, don't forget you can check out my guys, Splash Brothers Detailing Company. These guys, they did a fantastic job. I had these guys do some detail work for me, and I was nothing but thoroughly impressed. Don't forget, you can check them out on their Instagram page
Let's
at
go.
Splash Brothers. Don't forget Splash Brothers. You can check them out. Tremendous job they did for my wife's car, and they will be cleaning up the Type R. They definitely gonna be looking out. We appreciate those guys. Definitely
Factory.
want to shout them out. Wrong sound effect. We want to shout them out. But with that being said, man, Ferrari V12 need to be around for a little while. And I feel like at the end of the day,
Yeah.
that's what I mean about it not being your dad's car culture. Because that wouldn't have been a question back then. But
You're right.
things change. So with that being said, man, it's just really getting crazy out here. Listen to this. Y'all ready for and Rally Radio brought this to y'all first. Don't forget about it. We talked about this a couple months ago, if not a year ago. We said that you remember how they stole the car stereo back in the 80s? How it was really bad. They was breaking in your car, stealing your car radio and your hubcaps. And you had something called a Benzie box. You remember? You ever seen one of those before?
Yeah, I have.
So the Benzie box was something like it was a radio that you could pull out and take with you. Later on, they made it better. Excuse me. They made it better by just taking off the radio face. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But now it looks like the newest thing is going to be the charging cables.
Damn.
Yeah. Shout to everybody who out there booking charging cables. What kind of low life are you? You know what I'm saying?
Low like
What are you doing out there? But it looks like it's crazy. So check this out. Just before 2 a.m. on a chilly April night in Seattle, a Chevy Silverado pickup stopped at an electric vehicle charger station on the edge of the shopping center parking lot. Two men got out with a light strapped to their head, and security cameras got them cutting and pulling out all of the charging cables for the EV charging stations. Now, why are they doing that, you ask?
damn.
Why are they doing it? Apparently, these EV charging cables have a heavy amount of copper. And you know, if you take the copper to the Mondo spot, they'll pay you crazy
Factory
for the metal.
Yeah.
And they don't care where you got it from. My thing is, you bold enough that's like cutting the cord on a live electric plug though.
Yeah.
Fiber optic joint. Maybe that's why they got out with lights and all kind of stuff on their head, man. But shout to Zoom for Zoom. He said, I'm still in awe of the guy in the Fit who said he was at that mountain all night. Yo, you talking about the dude with the white Honda Fit.
Yeah, son.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
AKA Night Kids. That's what he had on the side of his car.
That's
and
it.
for those that don't know who the Night Kids are, you need to get up on your initial D and stop.
Factory.
Pause. Initial D. Sheesh. But with that being said, it looks like the biggest thing is going to be these EV cables getting booked.
Damn, son.
That's a crazy thing. You see how you can open up a whole nother can of worms? That's crazy.
Literally,
it looks
though.
like broken down charges have emerged as the latest obstacle for U.S. automakers in their strenuous effort to convert more Americans to EV, despite widespread public anxiety about scarcity of charging stations. About 4 in 10 U.S. adults say they believe EVs take too long to charge or don't know any of the charging stations nearby. Even finding a charging station doesn't necessarily mean finding functional cables. It becomes one or more reasons for skeptical buyers to stick with the traditional gasoline fueled or hybrid vehicles, at least for now, which makes the most sense. But now we're talking about not only are they cutting them, they're cutting them. What happens if, God forbid, they take the plug from the side of your house? Because they could do that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
They could do that. And those cables are about $500, $300 in the street. You know what we mean.
Yo, you know what's wild, right? So even Sunday morning when we was meeting up to go to the run.
Yes.
You didn't come in through that way, but it was wild or a bunch of what are those things called?
I saw it.
Those EVs.
I saw it.
Yo, one person got out the car. Was like, yo, what's taking so long? Keep in mind. It was a line about 10, 15 of these EVs. Though. So I was like, are you kidding me?
I did come from that way. I made the right turn at Macy's.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you did.
So I did see them, and I just drove by them and gave them an extra like throttle response, like whoosh. Ooh. Sucks to be you.
I'm telling you, keep in mind, they was up early trying to do that though. That was early. We was out there early, huh?
Yo, you know what? I didn't even take that into consideration, but we did meet up about 7:30.
Son, they was out there early.
And it was
a bunch of them,
yo,
son.
You would have thought
I was like, what?
You'd have thought they was giving the charge away.
This is what I'm saying. I'm like, nah, B, I'm good, son. I'm good. No way.
So that looks like that's another issue that they're gonna have to address. I don't know what they're gonna do, but that right there is just it's crazy when you think about how long it takes to charge one of them vehicles.
And you know what? I don't like what the person said in the article talking about, oh, that at least the combustion engines make sense for now. How? How they don't make sense forever? How?
They definitely don't care.
Nah, they don't care. Not even close.
But you know who they don't make sense to?
Who's that?
Looks like Volkswagen. Volkswagen is shifting billions from EV plans to go back to gas-powered vehicles. This is very gas car development.
It's hilarious. Volkswagen just, I don't know what's good with Volkswagen.
After that's a sneaking. Germans, man. They don't know what they doing. Looks like suits from Volkswagen Group are the latest to reconsider putting all or nothing at all into the EV coffers. According to Automotive News, CFO and COO Arno Antelitz says Volkswagen's group's investment dollars would still go toward internal combustion engines. But how many dollars are we actually talking about? A couple of bucks? Nope. 1/3 or 180 billion in today's currency exchange rates. To some, ICE is as dirty as word as diesel. On the Volkswagen front, especially, its EV plans appear to be in full swing. We all heard about this. They're getting rid of certain cars. The Volkswagen brand sold its 500,000th EV 1 year ahead of schedule, and VW CEO Thomas Schaefer dismissed e-fuels as unnecessary noise. Then again, VW is a brand that listens to public opinion, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all.
Yeah.
I already don't like Volkswagens as it is.
Damn.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I know that's a little bit of vehicular. It's not.
It is a little bit of treason.
You know why it's not treason now?
Why
Because they ain't really got no more manuals.
Damn. But wait, remember. Dang, my bad. Remember at a point in time, right? Volkswagen was like they bringing it back, man, because they people raving. Remember when they said that?
They did say that. However, you know, they always making their own little silly moves. Yeah. And I gotta say that I'm not moved by the fact that that you don't have any. And they sold 500,000 EVs. That's something for them to clap up about, I guess. But I think the thing about it is that when you look at Volkswagen, right? Yeah. Turn the music down a little bit. When you look at Volkswagen, I'm gonna be honest. To me, it's supposed to be an affordable car, not necessarily super duper expensive where I'm expecting all of these bells and whistles out of it.
I never thought Volkswagen. I thought Volkswagen was always like expensive.
Never. I thought they was expensive to fix. I never looked at them as an expensive car. Always to me, they was just like it was, if you wanted to get a cheap car to get around with, get that.
Really?
Yes. I never believed in them that way. But maybe I'm wrong. Shout to my guy Draco. He's in the building
Draco.
Early. Draco is in the building. Draco actually showed up last week too. He couldn't take the run, but we wish you did, man. But we all know that there's a next time around. I've never really been a fan of Volkswagen that crazy. Not of the brand itself. They did have certain cars that I did love. Or that I do love. So I'm not gonna say, but I'm just saying, like, as far as where the brand is going, like they're supposed to be coming out with a new R. I was reading about it. Said, oh, it's gonna have 339 horsepower. I open up the article, I'm looking at the pictures, and then like, oh, well, no, it's gonna have 339, meaning 245 kilowatts of
Yeah, you know what's funny though? You know what's funny? So on my way home the other day, I so happened to run into a 2008 R32. So that's what I'm saying. That Volkswagen was pretty cool. But you're right though. When I look at them now, like they don't. That's one of the manufacturers right now that does not get me excited.
Because this is not your daddy's car culture. That's why.
Damn, son.
Always comes back to that.
Like they not like I said before, and I'll say it again. You get yourself a Volkswagen, rather it's a GTI, rather it's a R32, rather it's a R. Put little wheels on the suspension and you good. Airbags, whatever you got to do. That's about the furthest they gonna go now, son. Like
you get to show up to the water fest.
That's it, son.
With the dubs on it.
That's a fact. The clean BBB reps on there, like you good. You good, right? I'm telling you, man. Volkswagen is like they had their time. That was a manufacturer that had their time. So.
Suicide.
Like Volvo had their time at a point in time.
Full tears for you, Volkswagen. Full tears. Cry.
It's crazy right now. Like
the tears of my enemies. But I will say this though. At the end of the day, man, good luck to Volkswagen. It seems like they're gonna come back to gas. They need to come on back, you know. But and then I don't think this is accurate. I think what's going to really happen is maybe they're going to come out with a couple more gas pop, but it's going to be really few and far in between.
And it's gonna be nothing spectacular, nothing to rave home about, though. I don't think. And,
Right.
and furthermore, they're probably gonna be auto again. Listen,
When's the last time Volkswagen had something that you raved about?
this is what I'm. So keep it a bean was the 08 R32. That was it. That was it. That was it. You right? Because I'm trying to tell you, like Volkswagen, like remember when they dropped like the 06 GLI? That was hot.
Yes.
That was hot. Was it no 03? It was 03. I think it was a 03. Yeah, about a 03 GLI. Like those was cool.
But really, when's the last time you said, "Oh my God, that Volkswagen is hot"?
All right, so boom. I remember so in Pineville, you know where Pineville's at.
Yes, sir.
In one of the yards, there was a this is the first time I seen it. It's the first time I seen a full motion wagon Passat. I thought that was hot.
VR6.
Yeah. I never seen one before. I'm like, yo, that's a full. First, I never seen something that had like the full motion badge. The full was red and all that. I'm like, oh, that one's pretty hot. But then again, that was years ago. Long time ago.
I would like to believe that even because there's a lot of other brands that are under Volkswagen or with Volkswagen, the car group. I probably rave over those, but the last Volkswagen.
Yeah, the last Volkswagen, you was geeking. You was geeking
I was
over.
like, and I wanted to buy it.
Yeah.
Man, I'm sorry. Y'all gonna get mad at me for this. A 92 4-door Jetta.
I ain't gonna front those. I know the V dubs is just not it.
Nah, son.
They not it. B. I think you know what it is. I think they dropped the enthusiast badge a long time ago. I think that's what it really came down to. They were like, nah, we good. We can't compete.
But you know what's crazy though, and you know we talk about this all the time. Shout out to everybody who's tuned in, paying attention. You already know what it is, man. And if you agree with me, drop it in the comments below. Listen, I gotta say this, right?
Yeah.
When we say car culture, and we say their car culture and how they dropped the performance car. Yo, a lot of the cars that we were building were not performance cars.
And not out the gate.
Let's be
not
honest.
Not out
here.
the gate, absolutely.
A Civic, a 92 Honda Civic was not a performance car. A Volkswagen Jetta or Beetle, for Christ's sake, was not a performance
Not
car.
even close.
We turned them into performance cars. So the fact that they abandoned that.
Ooh, that platform, I guess, though, right? That would
No,
be the platform.
not the platform. The fact that they abandoned the fact that people want to take these cars and customize them. That is the problem. Because even if they, we got a phone.
Okay, let's go.
Let's try this. Rally Radio, who we got in the box?
No, y'all ain't talking crazy about Volkswagen.
We talking.
Let's
crazy.
go, Dr. Phil.
Y'all talking.
We
y'all
wilding
talking
over here,
crazy about
Dr. Phil.
Volkswagen. Don't listen.
We wilding.
Don't be mad. Don't be mad that the Volkswagen GTI is still the best-selling hot hatch in the world. Do not play on Volkswagen's name like that.
Son,
Do
Volkswagen
not
that
act
GT,
like the
Dr. Phil, they not
Volkswagen
doing nothing, man.
GTI TCR didn't at one time take the Nürburgring record away from the Honda Civic Type R and force them to go back to the drawing board in order to take the record back. Do not play on Volkswagen's name like that.
Listen. How long ago was that? How long ago was that?
2018.
What have you done for me lately? They out here putting out electric vehicles, son.
Yeah, so's Honda.
Man,
Honda still make a Type R.
Volkswagen is
And
sleepy, Phil.
Volkswagen still makes the GTI and the Golf R. What's your point?
Sleepy. Those
They make the GTI and Golf R. They're like, yeah, we're gonna make those electric. Those are finito.
those cars, Dr. Phil, those joints are tired and sleepy, B. Volkswagen don't got it no more. That A sound good though, by the way, but that Volkswagen don't got it.
Thank you. But boy,
They don't got it. I'm sorry, Dr. Phil, they don't got
because
it.
I would tell you this. I would tell you this right now.
Let's go.
If you give me a choice between your SI and a Mark 7 GTI, which is a GTI that was out at the same time as your SI, I'm taking the GTI 10 out of 10 times.
But here's the thing: you might take the GTI, but that it's not a better car because I seen a review on those two cars, and the SI was on top.
Boy.
The SI was a better all-around car. It was.
Where you heard? I don't know where you heard.
I'm gonna
that
send it to
from,
you. I'm gonna send it to
I
you.
know.
Mhm.
I've driven. I know people two of very close friends of mine have had both of those cars.
Yes.
And I've driven I've driven the Type R. I've driven not the Type. I've already driven the Type R too, but I've driven the SI,
Okay.
the 10th Gen SI, and I've driven the Mark 7 GTI. And I'm gonna tell you this right now, bro.
Yeah.
Mark 7 GTI is a better car.
Nah, I doubt it. I highly doubt it. I'm not even being
The Mark
biased because
7
I have
GTI
one.
the Mark 7 GTI makes way more power, way more torque, and it's a better chassis.
No, it's
It
not.
handles better.
No, it don't. Yeah, Dr. Phil, I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna send it to you.
You know
Listen,
what?
okay.
You know what?
Mhm.
I will say no more. My god brother is now the owner of a Mark 7 GTI, of which I now have access to it.
Okay.
Next time we go to the mountains, I'll have him come and I'll drive the GTI, and you'll see if you can keep up. It's bone stock, by the way. Completely bone stock.
Yo,
I'll
Dr.
drive
Phil.
the GTI, and we'll see if you can keep up. We'll do a little tollgate run.
Okay, that's
How about
not a
that?
problem. That's not a problem. I'll tell you this much right now.
He
Volkswagen
calling you out.
Volkswagen had to up the power on the GTI because it could not mess with the SR. So it does have more power. That's fine. But that chassis is
It
not
always
nowhere
had
near.
as much power as the SI.
Yo,
The SI had to go turbo to keep up with the GTI, and it still didn't.
Yo.
I always say this though.
What's that?
For all of that, them Volkswagens is never in the record books, B.
Son, them Volkswagens, I'm
Yo,
telling
for
you, kid.
all of
I'm
it-
telling you.
for
Hey,
all
listen,
of it,
Volkswagens is
you
not
know
in,
what's
B.
going on?
Guys,
You know what's going on with both? It's both of y'all. Y'all Honda buy
No,
y'all
yo,
Honda
yo,
owners are
yo, the bidder wanna
hardwired
tell
to
you.
hate Volkswagen. That's just a thing.
Yo, Phil, I'm telling you, I'm not even Honda biased. I'm telling you for a fact that GTI
Honda
is
owners
not it,
are
bro.
hardwired to hate Volkswagen.
Nah, not even close.
It is
Not
a
even
known
close.
fact.
I can't front. Honda's is oil and Volkswagen is water. I ain't
Son.
gonna front. Phil, he's right.
Nah, he's not.
He's right,
Not
Phil's
in my case. I give credit to what credit's due, and I'm telling you, son, the GTI is not it. B.
No,
It's
I'm
nowhere
keep it a
close.
buck.
Is the
Phil?
chassis better than that car?
Yo, Phil, every time I'm driving my Type R, you know where I get the dirtiest look from? That
What's that?
GTI that pull up right next to me. I get that dirty.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So
You know what I'm saying? Pull up next to you on the highway, and it's you know what I'm saying?
it's going
Straight
down.
through face.
It's going down.
Ew.
Look, how they say? It's on site. Ain't no more. It's what it is. It's on site. When I see we be looking at each other. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
He's not lying.
Mm-hmm.
He's not lying. I ain't go front. Maybe that's why I never was moved by them. Maybe,
That's
like I said, there's only one or two or three rather that I always wanted, and it's always going to be the Corrado, number one.
Yeah.
I always wanted a '92 Jetta.
Yeah.
And I always wanted a Golf Cabriolet. I know that one comes out of left field. I'm always should be.
That is definitely out of left field.
But
That is out of. I ain't gonna lie. I ran into a turbo VR6 Cabriolet coming home from watching a movie one night.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not gonna lie, that thing sounded like it had a dragon under the hood.
Yo, I'm telling you, kid.
How it was so, and in flames was everywhere, and boost was all over the place. That joint was wild.
And convertible. I mean,
Yeah,
like that's what they
I like
Yeah.
him. I like him.
But that's about as far as it goes for me. A lot of the other Volkswagens, like I did like the Passat. I do like the mention of the VR6.
Yeah.
But what I was saying, Dr. Phil, and you can verify this. A lot of the cars that we are talking about, a lot of the cars that we was working on were not performance cars.
That's true.
They were cars
That's
that
true.
we were buying and making them performance. So the fact that
Well, you know what? I would say so, but hold on.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good.
Sorry, somebody was being stupid in front of you, trying to get on the damn highway. And my man is driving at 14 miles an hour, and I'm trying to get on the damn highway in the lane. Anyways, you would say a lot of them that we were working on indeed weren't performance cars. Because if you look at all the sport compacts that a lot of people used to modify back in the 90s and the 2000s, you know what I'm saying? You're looking at a Honda Civic EX, hell, even the DX, talking single cans. These are econo boxes.
This is right. You
know, you're looking at Nissan Sentras or
Nissan Sentra, SE, SCR. Like they weren't.
Yeah, Volkswagen Golf.
Right. They were more for, put it like this, they was more for the smaller. It was a compact car. It was something that you had it,
Okay.
but we turned them into what they were, and that's why I get upset when they just abandon that, because that's really the problem. They've been abandoning that to go SUV.
Damn. Yeah.
Think about it. Like,
that's true.
it's not only it's not only that they jumping away from performance cars, even the compact car just strictly for SUV. That bothers me because it's like, you know what? They act like it was never a market.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's, to me, it's always been. And Volkswagen is to me the prime example of that, because most of the cars that they was coming out with were compact. They were for people making it happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then what we would do is we would take it back, get a turbo kit fabricated. These are things that we was doing.
That's true. That's true.
And now it's like they don't even want us doing that. That bothers me. You feel what I'm saying?
And you know what? I blame the government for that. Because every time you turn around, they're coming out with new regulations that want us to stop this. In Massachusetts, they're even losing the right to repair. They're losing that fight.
Yes.
So they're losing the fight. They're losing the right to repair their own cars.
Yes. They consider it piracy now.
Damn.
They consider that. Yo, I know that's crazy. They consider it piracy because of the software that they have running in some of these cars. What we really think, or what me and you know, Phil, is that they don't want us digging in that computer because we're going to find something that they don't want us to find, i.e., we tracking you from this far away. But continue on. I'm sorry.
Of course. Whatchamacallit? Let me see, who just got a hot water? A lot of car companies just got a hot water for that.
Toyota,
but it was
Honda,
selling the information.
Ford. Yeah.
They're selling the information about our driving habits to our insurance company.
So guess what? Apparently, and this is a whole nother side note.
What's that?
Apparently, it's not only the car companies selling to insurance companies, it's the apps on your phone selling the third-party data to the insurance companies. Apps like Gas Buddy. How many of y'all have Gas Buddy on your phone?
I don't even got a Gas Buddy.
So with Gas Buddy, it uses your location and it can tell you where the cheapest gas is. You ever heard of that app, Phil?
Yeah.
So apparently,
I know about that app.
Apparently, Gas Buddy has been selling your information back to the insurance company. So even though you think you're not putting the OBD1 port in there, and even though you think you're turning your location services and everything off on your phone, it's still tracking based on that. They have about 2 or 3 other apps that they're using that I wouldn't even thought of. And when I came across this information, I was like, yo, Gas Buddy selling your information? Crazy. That's crazy. Y'all deleted it. I don't use it. No way. Gas is expensive everywhere, right?
Word.
But with that being said, first off, shout to Dr. Phil. He is our resident. Dr. Phil is our resident connoisseur.
That's a fact.
/ road finder, because the places that Dr. Phil has recommended to has not only been the greatest roads we've ever driven on in this state.
100%.
But it actually pushed the car to the limit. I didn't want to go home, man. Shout to Dr. Phil.
100%.
How's the car driving now? How's the Stang? How's the Mustang doing?
Oh, the Stang's fine. I tell you, man, the Stang. What we did last week, the Stang goes through this sort of it's so normal for it. It just shrugs it off. It's just dirty now. I gotta wash it.
That, and like I said, I said the same thing. My Type R is like, I gotta get it to the car wash. Like, I wasn't happy with the way it looked after, but I was happy with the drive.
Factory, 100%.
Oh yeah. Speaking of Type R's, I just passed a red FK8.
Ooh.
Yeah, I seen one last week.
I didn't want the red.
Yo, them joints they don't look bad in red, boy.
No, they don't. I seen one last week with the
especially with the matching red Brembos. They don't look bad.
I'm gonna tell you the blue, that blue out, it grabs because people looking at the red seats and the red calipers, but that red exterior, like that red, you got all of that matching. It's looking real crazy now.
Nah, as a fact.
Can't front. Red was the one I said I wouldn't get. And,
I'm shocked.
you know why? My motorcycle is red.
Mm-hmm.
I damn sure thought about it, but I said I want a more rarer color. I feel like that blue is not really around as much.
Nah, that's not. I really don't see the blue.
Yeah.
You already know what it is. Dr. Phil, we appreciate the call, even though he had to trash us, he had to thrash us around a little bit.
Yeah, he tried to make some sense out here, but nah.
Just had to make sure, I mean, because, you know what I'm saying? I don't
Dr.
like
Phil, let me tell you
being
this.
out here, man.
Dr. Phil, let me tell you this before you go. The GTI never in his life would be better than the SI. You hear me? Never in his life.
Yeah,
It's not. It's,
okay.
First off, before you go, the GTI is a more expensive car on top of that.
Okay.
And the fact that they had to even put the SI up against a car that making more power, more torque, and all that says a whole lot about it. I don't know. So we'll see when we get out there.
It says that Honda
is a champion.
It says that Honda's behind the times and they had to catch up.
Behind the
That's what it
times.
says.
Ooh,
The
boy.
the GTI been turbocharged since 2005, and Honda been fighting to catch up since then.
Because Honda been putting the work on them for so long, they didn't even need to boost it. I don't know, man. We'll see.
Yeah, all right.
I tell you what.
We'll see.
I tell you what. Next time we go to the drag show, because I know something's coming up in Maryland. We got it. There's a couple drag events. I don't know if you guys gonna be free, but we gonna put it out there. Every time a Volkswagen and a Honda's going up, we betting.
That's it, son. I'm liable to put the car on the line. If Phil down, I'm ready to put the car on the line. It don't even matter at this point.
See, he talking reckless.
I can't say it's not my car.
Yo, Phil.
So I can't do that.
Phil, we not.
But I'm definitely ready to put the cash up.
Nah, that's a fact.
We're gonna X that last part of the comment. We're gonna erase that. Because I swear to God, if he got to walk here, Phil, he can't be on the show.
Nah, it's cool. He still got the mic.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
He got alternate forms of transportation.
Let's go.
Yo, Phil, good looking on the call. We
Factory.
You as usual, my guy. You already know what it is.
No doubt.
Don't forget, we getting you the information for the Dragon's Tail. We will be making it happen August 9th, that weekend.
Definitely need that.
So let's get it. Let's get to it. You already know what it is, man. Yo, Phil, you already know what it is. Here at Rally Radio, we appreciate you. We gonna
Factory,
keep it pushing.
100%.
We appreciate you, my guy.
100%.
No doubt.
All right, peace.
Later.
That's my guy, man. Shout to Dr. Phil one more
100%.
time, man.
100%.
Yo, he pegged it. I really look. I'm gonna tell you the truth, man. Every time I'm driving my Type R, I get the dirtiest looks from. They be like this. Look, no matter where I'm at, I could be anywhere.
Yeah.
If I'm at a red light and a Volkswagen pulls, it's a race.
Yo, listen.
It's a race, son. It's nothing you can do.
The reason why, if you ask me, Volkswagen is dust because Honda done finished it with the front wheel drive segment. And if Volkswagen want to go all-wheel drive, you got other manufacturers that did it better, son. So where does that leave Volkswagen? Where does it leave them?
He talking crazy.
Where does it leave them at?
I tell you what. With that being
I don't know, son.
With that being said, we're gonna move right along because Phil gonna call back.
He gonna call right back.
Yo, what? Look, but with that being said, we got a couple other things we want to talk about, and definitely some information that we think everybody needs to know. With that being said, man,
let's go.
I love this next segment we got coming. But before we do that, I wanted to get into one more thing. Ford, and this is why I say I always gotta give Ford their respect.
Okay.
Ford Mustang donates a whole bunch of cars to high schools for their automotive program.
Oh, man.
You got to love it. Ford donated 4 cars last week to one high school, to local schools in Washita County, to serve their automotive education program. Now, where did they get the Fords from? These Fords were actually on the lot, and they were flooded. But level 2 flooded. They said it got to the carpet of the car.
Okay.
So instead of writing them off and getting the money from the insurance company, they donated them to the kids.
Nah, that's
smooth. And the fact that these kids, and I mean some mean ones, don't get me wrong, we ain't talking about nothing crazy, but we're gonna get into the cars a little bit. They were 2023, and 3 of them were GTs.
Nice.
One of them being a convertible, and
Fire.
the 4th one was an EcoBoost.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But they donated them to learn how to fix them.
That's cool right there.
Them, tear them up, put them back to work and everything like that. And the fact that they said the kids were sitting in them, revving them, because they do start.
Yeah.
Revving them and everything. Love it. And I'm like, see?
Yeah.
Again. When is the last time that you heard somebody having shop class with a real car?
That's
in New
a
York.
fact.
Let's
That's
just
a
say
fact.
in New York in general. Outside of going to like Lincoln Tech or something like that. What schools are doing that?
You know what? It's schools doing that, but we don't know where they at though. They
No.
not they not doing that in the city. That's
No.
not happening.
No. So shout to Ford, man.
That's not happening. 100%.
Shout to Ford. Like I said,
100%.
today's car culture is not your
Mhm.
daddy's car culture
Mhm.
because a lot of our forefathers and those that was in the automotive programs and things like that before
Yeah,
us, that's how they learned too. They took it out to the track after that.
for sure.
So it's a very interesting ordeal. I always say if you learn the rules, you can learn how to bend the rules. And that's what it means about learning how to
Ooh.
when you learn how to fix a car, you can learn how to
Yeah,
turn a car into a performance car too.
that's true.
Shout to them, shout to Ford for doing that. With that being said, we're gonna move right on to our next
Let's
segment
go.
of the show. You already know what it is.
It's Tech Talk with Pop the Bearded One and S.I Shawn.
All right, you already know what it is, man. We are here, we are in the building. Shout to everybody who's tuned in, paying attention, who's rocking with us. Don't forget the number to call up is 516-206-0711. You know where to find us. 516-206-0711. We put it down on the ticker below so you can see it. With that being said, we're gonna jump right in. We have a whole bunch of things going on. Shout to Marlon. He said Automotive High School in Brooklyn does that. It's right, it's only one.
Let's go.
It's only one, but shout to them. Shout to the Automotive High School in Brooklyn
Mhm.
for actually keeping people entertained with the autos, because that's when you really start to grow your love for them, is when you're younger.
Yeah, I like to believe that. Absolutely.
But with that being said, man, this is something that I wanted to talk about a little bit. Dealer Leak says that the Porsche 718 Cayman and Boxster will end production in 2025. That hurts. What's your thoughts on that?
You know, again, like we said earlier at the beginning, right? Some of these cars, they wear out their welcome, and they're not of this realm anymore, B. They done serve their purpose, and they fantastic, but we are not deserving enough for them. This is why.
Yo, when you put it like that, it's like they can't exist in this realm anymore. That really just
Nah,
puts
they
it in
can't, son.
perspective.
Think about it, B. We said this the other day too, the other week. The 911s are no longer even coming manual so far. What does that say? It's past driving now.
Yes.
It's past driving. And what is the 718? Those are driving vehicles.
Yes.
Volkswagens is does. They're driving vehicles, though. You understand what I'm saying?
He's taking
So-
shots for the rest of the show.
So that's why I'm not too surprised, man. Again, it just sucks because, like you said, today's car culture, it's not your dad's car culture, B. Sit. This ain't about driving at all. So they doing the right thing by the 718, man. Put it out the pasture. That's a fact. Just put it out.
What I think bothers me the most about it is that these are the entry level Porsches.
Yeah. Keep in mind 60, 70,000, but yeah, entry level.
Right, entry level.
Yeah.
I mean, the 718s are more expensive. Them 718 GT, they could go up about 75.
Oh, nah.
80.
You talking about the cool one. Just the regular 718 is probably like 60,
Yeah.
65.
But now if we talking about I always say the 718. Wow. I
I mean,
always
it's all the same.
I always looked at that car as being for New York City though. Like 718. Nah,
So
but-
stupid. That's funny.
Like the
That's funny.
718, like you said, the GT version, 718. Yeah, they could get up
GTS.
80 grand. They could get up there. But I will say these were the entry level
Yeah,
Porsches.
son. Entry
And not-
level sports cars from Porsche.
And not
Yes.
for nothing, this came in at one point. Wasn't this the one that they said they wanted to put a V8 in it?
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I do play Turismo. Shout to everybody.
Let's go.
S.I
That's a
Shawn
fact.
always talking about he want to run me, and then he don't never show up. I be on the game at like 11 o'clock. He be like, I gotta go to bed. Oh my God! Somebody get this man. What is going on? But I have a Porsche Cayman, right? With the
GT4 though.
yes, with the what's that? The Willet the what engine is that? It's on one of them other brands.
Damn, who? I don't
They
know.
got I have the V8 in it though. What?
What V8 that you could drop in there? That's it. I don't even know what V8 could go in
I
there.
don't want to go too far, but 1,400 horsepower.
Oh my.
And it's still drivable.
No,
And
it's
that's-
not. It
yes,
can't be.
It's still drivable. I swear to God. I have 4 different tunes for this car. Yo, that's how you know I've been playing a lot. I've been tuning it and naming it. So that's by the performance points.
Yeah.
But power wise, max kill mode is what I call it. 1,408.
Damn,
The
bro.
Maverick V8.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
That
Yeah.
Maverick V8. It belongs to the Maverick.
Don't they got their own dealer in the game too, right? For the
Yeah.
Maverick, yeah.
But when
it looked like a old Bel Air or something like that, right?
It
Is
do.
it close to that? Yeah.
But they let me take the V8
I don't know
out
how
of that.
they did that, son.
Yeah, I don't know
how they
neither,
did
but
that.
I love it.
But
And let me tell you, when I want to win, kill mode.
yeah, you probably won't beat me with that because you had no traction, bro. I already know. I could just vision it now, son. It's
Listen,
okay. Don't worry about it.
Let me tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you something. Top speed can make up for traction.
That's
lot of time
fine.
when you get me to the straight. He'd be like, I won.
Yeah, that means he's definitely gonna pick a track that favors straight line driving. That's all it is.
See, look, this guy, man. Yo, I'm telling you, I don't know what it is. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
a Cayman with a V8 is something that we all wanted. We all wanted it.
Fact.
And when they talked about that, the Porsche mechanics and engineers and techs had actually made one or thought about making one, that would have been one of the greatest Porsches we would have ever seen. Shout to everybody who's tuned in, paying attention. You see the numbers going up. Don't forget, drop a comment, drop a like so we can shout you out. Shout to my cousin, Clarence Alexander.
Let's go.
In the building. Let's go. He said we don't get no invites to these Turismo sessions.
Oh, no, they did.
I mean, at the end of the day, you got to have a car, bro.
That's a
you
fact.
Can't climb in the ring with the elite because you think you boxed. But in the meantime, these were the entry-level Porsches, Boxster, Cayman, that to me was more centered around handling than horsepower when it came to Porsche.
That's true. And also on top of that, these cars, so the whole thing with these, right?
Mm-hmm.
They had the potential, people not gonna like this. I mean, for those who, know, it had the potential to be better than the 911, son. But they didn't want to hear that. They didn't want to hear that because, like what you just said, the sheer size of the vehicle. That's it. Remember, the 911s used to be small and nimble. Don't get me wrong, they probably still very nimble now, but the size of them changed so dramatically that when these were coming out, it was perfect.
Yes, and
it was perfect.
And not for nothing, I feel like the Cayman always looked the best out of all of them.
Ooh,
I'm sorry. I love the Cayman, son. I'm sorry. I know that sounds
I ain't going
crazy.
front. All of them are nice, B. Yo, remember we was at the Tail of the Dragon? Somebody came through with the silver convertible one, son, with the wicked exhaust on it.
But
son?
there was a Cayman that came through.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yo, son. I'm gonna be honest with you. The Cayman has always been my favorite.
I think the Cayman is more like, I think it's more dedicated, son. So it might be the entry level, but its level of dedication has now took it from the 911.
Yes.
And like, nah, we the dedicated one now.
But I gotta say that's why I hate to see it go. And that's why I said today's car culture is not your daddy's
it's
car
not,
culture.
son. And you know what's after this is gonna be electric, for better or worse. It's gonna be
they
electric,
already said it.
Yeah, it's game.
They said, these cars are gonna come back electric. They said miscellaneous changes. End of production for all 982 models. Currently planned for October 2025. 982 models continue to not include autonomous emergency braking. Therefore, PDK volume is limited. Please encourage manual transmission where possible. So it looks like when these joints come out next year, the bulk of them are gonna be manual. That's a real lover's dream right there. I'm gonna tell you, I'll be finished paying for this Type R at the end of the year.
I'm telling you, right? That's it. So thinking about it.
I might have to make it
Yo,
happen.
you know they got a GT4 RS. They have an RS model, son. You know they put that against the 911 model. Come on, this is what I'm trying to tell you. That Cayman is serious, B.
Son. And this is what I'm saying. Shout to Shy said not wrong, and the Cayman is a good looking. I'm gonna tell you, man. Shout to Shy. When we was younger, his neighbor had a Cayman. And we used to go to Shy house, chill out. But he had an orange.
Orange?
Yeah. He had an orange Cayman. And let me tell you, when you see it, like you said, no pause, the rear end was crazy. Like the way
the way they scoped it, it's crazy. It's ridiculous.
God, I was like, they was like, nah, but we used to battle it. It's not a 911. I said, but it looked good though.
It don't gotta see that. It don't gotta be a 911.
He was young though.
Yeah,
he was 17, 18.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We really didn't have no real clue what we look. But at the end of the day, I just know it was a beautiful car.
You know what I'm starting to learn too, like with cars like that people feel like maybe underrated or whatever like that. When you drive one, like this ain't like no V-dub.
Right.
When you drive one of these, you be like this, huh?
Yes.
This is what this is about.
Yes.
The looks may be deceiving, but I'm telling you,
so
718s.
718. I'm gonna say it looks like they say that a lot of the problem is that they couldn't escape the 911 shadow, and that's actually interesting too that you said that.
You know what? My problem is, man, like they should have just let it be better, but they couldn't do it. I'm telling you, I seen a documentary on this. They could have let the Cayman be better, but they chose not to because of the whole cult thing with the 911, bro. I'm telling you, this is a better car, bro.
Could you? That's one of the reasons why the Camaro had to go.
And when you think about
Camaro had to go because it can't be better than the Vet. What I mean, it can't be.
Know, son. You're right. No, I agree.
The difference is like even
Can't
with
be.
Ford doesn't have anything competing with the Mustang.
That's a fact.
The next closest vehicle you're going to get is eons above that echelon with a GT, with a Ford GT.
And you know what's funny?
You know
like
what I mean?
if other manufacturers do have something, they don't have it nowhere near the top one. Like it's not. We ain't going over there because it has to be or stand on its own.
Which is why even the Acura Integra Type S had to have more power than the Type R. It had to.
But we debate about this. But my thing is why? It's the Acura side of it though. Is it like?
But if that's the case, you might as well stay with the Type R. Telling you, man, they know what they're doing. Shout out to everybody who's tuned in, paying attention. Don't forget, drop in your name, drop a comment so we can shout you out. We appreciate everybody who tunes in, who rocks with us. See, you got a lot of people from Twitterville tuning in too.
That's a fact.
Shout out to them, man. We appreciate it. But with that being said, we also have another car that we are losing.
Oh man.
And this is really the bulk of the show. This is what really, really turned me to the title, what we have today. On top of it being Father's Day weekend, shout out to all fathers and fathers.
Factory.
The Nissan GTR R35 officially dies. Crazy.
So, man,
with these two special editions. So, with these two, first off, the special editions is crazy. They had a Takumi edition,
the
T-Spec Takumi edition with the Midnight Pearl with the gold raised wheels.
So, here's my thing.
Let's go.
I love the Millennium J1. I'm good off that. I'm good off the Midnight Purple one. I want fire in the hole, but that Millennium J with them gold, you know, those are raised wheels. Those gold wheels are raised wheels. Doosh. Yo, son, are you kidding me?
Yo, so this one really hurt because at the end of the day, I believe the GTR.
It don't hurt better one, man. It can't, son. It can't be.
It do. Because I want one. I don't care what nobody says.
I go front, son. I do too.
I
do too, son.
It says Nissan has said after more than 17 years of thrilling fans and exhilarating drivers, GTR production for the North American market will sunset in October. Nissan announced in Friday's press release. Since its launch, the R35 GTR has delivered supercar rivaling performance and excitement for a supercar beating price tag, engaging a new generation of automotive enthusiasts in the United States and showing many more expensive sports cars its taillights on the racetrack. Nissan was talking greasy at the
yo again, man. Again, that the whole premise of a Skyline GTR was to be a race car, though. That was it.
With that being said, man. With that being said, I believe out of all the cars that we've lost or that we are losing, this one is a tough one, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because when you think JDM sports car culture, there's only 3 cars that come right to mind: GTR, Supra, RX-7.
I mean,
those are the first 3 that a lot of people are going to talk about. And I'm talking about for people that don't know nothing about it.
Oh,
you say that those are the first 3 that's going to come to their mind.
That's a fact.
This car is at the top of the totem pole.
Nah, it is.
As far as that is concerned.
Slightly below the Supra, but it's up there though. This guy. It is. It's there. It's right up there, man. But it's just slightly, ever so slightly below the Supra. Look. You know what gave the Supra the edge? The availability. That's what gave it the edge.
And trust me, when he that's it. Trust me, we're gonna get into that too, because the availability of Toyota Supra is changing as well. But
that's a fact.
In the meantime, the GTR, the car that changed a lot of racing, changed a lot of the way that a lot of these supercars started to look.
Yeah.
When you think about when the R35 in particular, when the R35 GTR came out, they had set a new track record at Nürburgring at 7 minutes and 20 seconds. You remember that?
Yeah.
You even got a trophy in Gran Turismo if you could beat that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So they came out, and then a lot of people was like, oh, it's a GTR. Nissan is great, until they started wearing out Lamborghinis and Ferraris on the street. Then it was like, yo, oh, nah, it's automatic. I'm like, yeah, it is. But at that point, that's the way they was going. And it was definitely a more track-focused car. I will say if it came in a manual, I believe they'd have sold a gazillion more of them.
Yeah, I think so.
But the way that it was set up with the transmission, as far as having one transmission in the front and one and slightly transmission in the rear and a diff in the front, the way that it's set up like that, it wasn't gonna work. But they made this car.
It could have worked, but they chose not to.
Okay,
you know what it is? Like you said, I'm not mad at them for doing that, right? Because when I think about it now, right, just thinking about the whole nature of the Skyline GTR, again, it was supposed to be a race car.
Yes.
So they set it up, I guess, in that upcoming fashion, because even though Formula One has moved towards, paddle shifting and what have you, but the Skyline was wild, son. It was meant to compete against those cars. That was the whole point of it.
And this is why you gotta give the GTR from inception has been given other car companies and other cars run for their money. Nissan been showing them what for since the R32. R32 been running game where they had to change racing laws because of this car. The R33, the R34, the R35. You do not see show me a car brand badge that dominant.
Man.
Show me. Dominant. And when I say that, I don't mean just Nissan and John, I mean GTR. It's dominant. It's dominant.
I agree.
I agree. It was never a car that you looked at and was like, it's a slouch. Never. Never. As a matter of fact, never.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? So when you think about it, it was known as Godzilla. We know that. And I mean, they racked up numerous trophies, track trophies, drag race trophies, numerous. Numerous street versions built. Mine's GTR. Like when you think about how far the GTR went, and it was not cheap ever.
Yeah, never was ever. You know why I could appreciate that car? When it was in the R34 stage, R33 stage, R32 stage.
Yes.
And earlier,
yes.
They only came with the clutch in this, huh?
Only came with the clutch in it. Do you remember the R34 had the gauge built by Sony?
Yeah, that was wicked.
I was like, huh? It was like, they needed the digital gauge and they built it by Sony. Same people who designed Gran Turismo.
Son, that was a straight. This what I mean. Like you gotta appreciate certain cars, man.
So
you have to.
With that being said, man, we got to give a moment of silence. This is not your daddy's car culture.
It's not.
They're getting rid of cars like this. You remember, even I think about it in this kind of realm. When you look at older men, at my job, right? I've been working at my job for a little while now. Since I got there, there was older men that was getting ready to retire. A lot of them retired and bought that retirement vehicle.
Yeah.
Right. A lot of them bought a Vet. A lot of them bought Camaros. A lot of them bought different things. I had a homeboy that retired and he bought a GTR.
For real?
Yes.
What, 35?
Yes. He bought an R35 GTR. He's done mounds of work to it. And clean mods. I don't mean like he's trying to go for a quarter mile time. Just clean. The way it sounds, everything. He keeps it running good. And I think about that when I go to retire, it won't be there for me.
I mean, maybe not a new one.
You're right.
Maybe not a new one.
Maybe I'll be better off just doing that then. Shout to my guy, Miller Time NYC's in the building.
I do see a T-Spec with your name on it.
I see a Porsche Cayman 718 GT.
Yeah. So I got to ask you, right? So in the middle of that, right? You think when it's that time, right? People buying the car for themselves or they buying it for those people over there? What do you think that is? Like, you said many of them go get a Vet, go get a Camaro. Like,
I would like to believe you. Anytime you purchase a car, I would like to believe you purchasing for yourself.
Mm.
Listen, everybody knows that I wanted a Hellcat. So when I
Okay.
bought the Type R, it wasn't the most popular opinion. Oh, how you go from this to this? I'd be like, you know what? That one wasn't coming manual, and this is what I wanted.
Mhm.
So I said, I'm going to get it.
Mhm.
When you buy things, I would like to believe that anytime you buy something like that, you're buying it for you. And I'll be totally honest, when I bought the Type R, after really looking at it and really looking at the specs of it and really like diving back into my Honda roots, I was like, yeah, I got to get this Type R. So I would like to believe that when you retire and you buy something like that, you're not buying it for the masses, you're buying it for yourself. Because at the end of the day, it's yours. You got to live with it.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying? So I could be wrong. I don't know too many. We got to talk to more retirees and get that. So shout to my guy McBride, my man Larry McBride. Always had the new cars when he worked at the job. When he retired, went and got a new one too.
Yeah, factory.
But with that being said, you know how we get down, man. There's a couple other things we want to talk about here before we jump into our driver's etiquette, and this one is actually going to be for you, sir. It looks like we're about to see another crazy 6-figure super sale.
Telling you, man, top of the totem pole, baby.
There's an MK4 Toyota Supra on the auction block. The current high bid on car and bids is 150 bins.
Man, son.
What?
Ooh. Is it stock? Is it completely stock?
This one is stock. This one is stock. It's mint. The 1995 Super Turbo on cars and bids auction block shows less than 10,000 miles.
Sheesh.
It still has its Monroney shows a sticker price of $51,000 the way it is equipped. So it came with everything.
Yeah.
Wow. It after 29 years of existence, has a small scratch on the rear quarter panel and an imperfection on the bumper. 9-year-old tires, all easy fixes. But 150,000. What's your thought? Now, this is what I mean.
That's wicked.
The Supra, the MK4 Supra, been done since what year? 2002?
Yeah, 2002.
So we talking about since 2002 because those MK4s are not available. The prices for these have been crazy. And now when you look at the GTR, the same thing was happening there too.
GTRs. See, I'm a little shocked at the GTR because again, like you said, they was never cheap.
No, never.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It was at a point in time when MK4s was cheap. They had a cheap period. The GTRs never did. As far as we know, they never had a cheap period, B.
Not because it wasn't over here.
So I don't even think they was even cheap in Japan or wherever else they could be possibly sold at. I don't ever think they were cheap, period.
At that point, I believe in Japan, the sticker was $50,000. I believe the sticker was $50,000. We could verify. If anybody knows, they could drop it in the comments.
Yeah, that's a fact. Because I would love to know. I never really knew
I believe they were about $55,000 for the GTR. You know,
I don't believe that because the NSX was 90. Whoa.
Yo, but think about some of the things the NSX coming that the GTR don't.
First and foremost, that NSX is absolutely a race car too. It was meant to compete with the supercars just like the GTR.
You know what? But now,
naturally aspirated though.
But now when you think about it though, even when we used to play, because the only way we knew any of these pricing was through games.
Yeah.
So at that time we had Midnight Street Racing, Tokyo Extreme Racer. We had Gran Turismo, which was probably the closest that we had seen at that point.
Yeah, for sure.
And the GTR was about 50,000 in. And we can check. We go check.
Yeah, no, that's a fact.
In the meantime, the NSX was 90.
The NSX was crazy, but this Supra though, like, I'm not surprised, man. I'm no longer shocked. Like, this car it's a lot more to it again than people may expect it to be, right?
Right.
150 sounds about right, son.
Okay.
10,000 miles on it, a little tiny surface scratch.
Right.
Why not? Why not? Why not go for it, son?
So I would say, it's just, to me, it just goes to show, right? MK4 came with the MK5. It did not do as well as the MK4. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Super.
Yeah.
R34 does great. R35 comes out. It doesn't do as well at first.
Yeah.
But now that car is disappearing,
forget it.
Even the sticker price, 150,000 for that Takumi edition for the GTR.
That's the T-Spec. That's a cop.
Telling you.
So I guess what you're alluding to with the MK4 being 150, is it worth to buy at 150 when you could possibly go grab something else? Is that what you're getting?
I would get it. Said no. The only other thing I could think about like buying instead of that, it would have to be a manual version of don't get mad at me here. I would get a Ford GT before I get that. But then again, they're not on the same level.
You know when I'm starting to think about Ford GT, first off, is always fire in the hole. That's always a go, right?
Yes.
But the different time period of these cars, I think the driving experience, listen, they may not be as fast as a current GTR or a Porsche or what have you.
Yes.
For God's sakes, AMG Benz, whatever. But the level of experience you get, son, when you go back inside that time capsule,
yeah,
I think it takes you over the moon, son. So I think it's definitely worth a grab at 150. Sure.
Yeah.
What color is it? Anthracite metallic?
Yes. Nasty.
See, I think the level of experience is what you're truly paying for, son. I think that's what you're paying for. Because when you think about those cars are performance cars then, and they still performance cars now.
Right.
You still gonna be, I guarantee you.
So
you still be excited behind it.
I'm over here and I'm looking at some of the numbers for the R32, R33, and they got them in Japanese yen.
Yeah.
I don't know how to break this down.
We could convert that.
We could convert it. I'm not sure how, but the GTR was 4,998,000 yen. 4,998,000 yen. The V-Spec was 5,598,000 yen. And the N1 version, 5,998,000 yen. If you wanted a GTR Midnight Purple, there was only 300, 5,298,000 yen. And if you wanted a GTR Midnight Purple 2 GTR V-Spec, 5,898,000 yen.
Hold on. So 4 million yen is 25,000 in USD.
There we go. They was cheaper than we thought.
No, they wasn't, son. That couldn't be.
You trying to tell me they 30,000? Oh my God. I'm gonna wish I went overseas and just
son. It's no way. It's no way these things are 25,000.
Yes. That's crazy. Now I want to say I can't come up with anything that has a regular price. We're gonna find it though, but $50,000 car. Now 200, 300, 399.
See, I think you do gotta draw a line somewhere though. I do think you gotta draw a line somewhere.
If I get one for 399, it gotta come from Signal Auto.
Or Mines. It gotta be like a Mines one. It gotta be wild. Takumi gotta build it.
Yeah, but you know what though? You know what Takumi stands for in Japan in Japanese? Master like craftsman or like master builder. I didn't know that. It stands for like master craftsman or like master carpenter, something like that. But it's like pretty much you the master of your trade.
Champion. Yeah.
So it's crazy how Initial D he named his son Takumi. Like he knew this kid was gonna be great. But with that being said, you know how we get down. Got a lot of things going on out here. And this right here, we're gonna come up with our next segment. And this is we love this segment right here. Because for everybody in the building,
driver's etiquette. Because sometimes you got to get this off your chest.
All right, we are here, man. Shout out to everybody who's tuned in, paying attention. This is driver's etiquette. Man, you got to get that off your chest. And with that being said, today's car culture is not your daddy's car culture.
Sheesh.
You know, when we say that, you think about it, right? A lot of times you get into a lot of different things because of your father, because of your father figure.
Yeah.
Maybe they exposed you to something that you know what you ended up loving. I think about me loving basketball. You know what I mean? Like I used to love basketball when I was a kid. I was exposed by a father type figure I had in my life at that time. You know what I mean? He loved basketball. I would watch basketball, and that's how I went. You know what I mean? From there, even when I got into the autos, it more or less wasn't a father figure, but a friend that was just like, "Yo, look at this." And the more I started looking at it, more I started paying attention, more I started to love it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But with that being said, man, this is just not just it's not the same anymore.
Nah, son, it's
and
not.
What I mean by that is like there's a lot of things that are changing out here that we got to just pay attention to. Like we could just talk about car maintenance. How many people really take a lot of pride in their maintenance of their vehicle? You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of different things that come in with maintenance.
Yeah, you know what I realized? So with the SI, right? Like I really maintain that car, right? because I had it for a long time. This is actually the longest time I actually even had a car for consecutively. You know what I'm saying? And I really enjoy maintaining it, son. So you're right. It's a different level of you take a different type of gratitude in doing it,
and
an appreciation.
And right there, what you saying, gratitude and appreciation just goes to show how far things have changed.
For sure.
When you look at the manuals, when you look at the owner's manuals of some of these cars, they only showing you what the lights mean.
Yeah.
They don't want to show you, like if you look at the owner's manual of like a Nova, of a Chevy 1969 Nova.
Yeah.
They show you how to reseat the valves.
Factory.
Like that. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they really showed you a lot. So it just goes to show that a lot of things have changed. This is not your daddy's car culture. Like where it's like to be in the car culture now, you just need to have money. When it really wasn't about money then.
Nah, it wasn't.
When you think about like I said, when I first got into the game, when I first got into seeing these different cars, it was about bread. But if you had certain things, you could make things work for you, which is why I always love Hondas. Because at the end of the day, if I couldn't afford the performance version, I could get something from another car and make it work. Case in point, Integra rear disc brakes. It works. Bolts right up to the CRX with no problem. All you got to do is change your emergency, your e-brake cable, and your lines if you have drums.
Yeah.
Other than that,
that's crazy.
And you got to change your proportioning valve in the front.
Okay.
So that it's equal. Instead of it being the 40-20, you got to get the 40-40 one, because if not, you will be pulling to the left every time you hit the brakes. But it just goes to show, like, that's one of the things I liked about it. That's part of the car culture. That's knowing things. That's knowledge. And I could tell by the way that a lot of these young guys conduct themselves when they get out there and they're dealing with cars. They have no knowledge of what they're dealing with.
Yeah.
They have no knowledge of how dangerous it could be if you're doing the wrong thing.
That's a fact.
They have no idea what 700 horsepower to the rear wheels will make you do in the rain, and neither do they care.
Man, that's real.
Until they sideways in the rain facing the wall. Then they give it in. And that's what I mean about the car culture. When you look at certain things, you see things. You see them for yourself. And you know what, man? It just wasn't like this back then. Even if it was, I remember I went to the street races with my uncles, man. I never forget this. I went to the street races over on Rockaway Turnpike.
Yeah.
This is when they used to meet up on the turnpike and just go for this. We went there one time. And as I'm running around out there, I was young at that time, running around. And I remember I was about to step foot in the street. Just my uncle was like, get back on that grass. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
damn.
But he was like, yo, and he said to me later, he was like, listen, when you at the races, you do not stand here. You're in the danger zone. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's just certain things like that you don't see in the car culture now. People stand right in front of the damn cars that's going up the street. Like, they don't know no better. It's just a different car. The car culture is totally different now.
I think it's like what you said, though. I think it's like the lack of knowledge and the lack to get the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't even care enough. They don't care enough, rather. And to even understand what's going on.
And the crazy part is that the knowledge is readily available. When I went to drop the B series motor in my CRX, I remember I had to go on eBay and buy a DVD that had the manual of a JDM CRX on it. I had to download it from the CD and actually read it to figure out what I was doing. Rally Radio, who we got in the box?
Miller Time in the building.
Shout to my guy.
Let's go, Miller Time. What's happening?
Early. Let's go. What you got for us today, Miller?
I have to apologize for interrupting your etiquette.
It's all good.
But I'm, like I told you earlier, when I first started listening to your show, I was a late arrival on the scene.
Yes.
But I do remember going to Fountain Avenue. I forgot who I was rolling with at the time, but Fountain Avenue was sick.
Yes.
Fountain Avenue was sick.
Yes. Now
that's when I was exposed to it, but I wasn't like S.I said, I wasn't
I wasn't sure as to what I was exposed to, and I didn't have the real interest of a car enthusiast at that time. But guess what? Who did not enjoy a good race?
Who does not enjoy a good race?
That's a good one right there.
That's a fact.
So my father, he was never mechanically inclined. He was always a public transportation guy. That's how he got around. My oldest brother, he was mechanically inclined. But until this, and the funny thing is, he is the one that told me that I should have got my license eons ago. But like I told you, I wasn't in it back then.
Yes.
And now that I finally got my license, and then you guys exposed me to Bear Mountain, I have a different perspective.
I gotta interrupt this a little bit right there because we ran into a couple people up there, and it was like, "Yo, we saw this F-150 coming around the turn, and the back got loose for a little minute." And he was like, "Yo, what is that? Like, is that the support vehicle? Like,
Yo, or was that the emergency? It was crazy.
That was fun. That was fun.
But
that was something I didn't expect. But you know what? I'm glad you brought that up because on my way home, I was thinking, I'm like, wait a minute. I'm moving this vehicle as an automatic. You guys are doing it with 3 pedals.
Oh yeah.
You guys are dancing out here making moves at ridiculous speeds to pull off the magic that you guys do.
Yeah. It's a
so,
different.
I had to tip my hat off to you guys because it's like I'm trying to keep up with this behemoth, but you guys are just like Beethoven in the symphony. Y'all are just letting it ride.
Hey yo, Miller, it's funny you said that, right?
Yeah.
Because when you think about it, right, that's what we talking about driving manual.
Right.
Is that full engagement?
Yes.
It's like, and there's nothing like it because you using all 4 limbs
for sure.
You using both feet, arm, hand. You paying it. I'm telling you, it's a lot going into it. And to move fast doing it, let alone just doing it, driving on the song.
Yeah.
To move fast doing it, it takes a whole nother. It's so much fun. It's so much fun.
And the funny part about it was, on our way there, you know, we were listening to Dr. Phil. We got off on that exit, and it took us forever and a day to get off that exit. But when you guys took off, Dr. Phil was still behind me, and I'm thinking that these guys are already gone. So he rolls up alongside of me. He taps the horn, beep, beep. He's like, "I'm right here for you. I'm right here." And then he takes off. So now I'm trying to keep up with him, and he is just on the fly. And I remember he told when we talked about it earlier, it was like I asked, I said, how do I handle the dragon's tail when I come across it? He said, "Dude, you just get in the car and drive. Don't worry about nothing else.
That's it.
Just do what you do." But I'm like in the back of my head, I'm like, wait a minute, I don't have a car. I got this behemoth here. So
that changes the plan.
See, you guys are working on 4 limbs. I'm working 3 because my right leg is going back and forth.
I will say this, and shout to Marlon. He said, "I don't know about you, Miller. I was doing legal limits."
Well, you know what? I ain't mad at Marlon either, because Marlon took care of me too. Because after he done took off when y'all went back into that parking spot, I was leaving and going, and if I didn't see his Cooper, I would have kept on going. Like, yo, where y'all at?
Damn.
I will say this, and this is why we said last week, are we letting time pass us by? We should have been did that. We should have been did that. And you know what? At the end of the day, you got a chance to experience it too. And I'm glad that you went, man. Shout to
100%,
Miller.
100%.
Shout to Miller.
Definitely impressed by that. Absolutely, absolutely.
Shout to Miller, man. I will say
I
this.
want to say thank you. Thank you for the invitation.
Don't worry. And we got another one coming up too. Tell Camacho to get his time in order.
Yeah, SP need to stop playing around too.
Oh, I think I definitely motivated them because of I love that paragraph that Marlon put together there for that brief moment. It was like, look, if Miller can come out there with that big old behemoth, I know y'all can come out here. Let's go.
And that's a fact. Shout to Marlon. He did say that in the group. He did say that. I will say this, Miller. At the end of the day, as long as you go out there and have fun, because it's not always about speed.
No.
But as long as you go out there and have fun, and you learn about your truck,
yeah,
then you good. Then the mission has been accomplished.
Oh yeah, that was fun. That was fun. That was great. The camaraderie was there. No one was trying to prove anything. It was just, guys, let's go.
Except for SI.
Let's go. You're gonna see some things that you can't explain, but you're gonna be like, yo,
like smoking stock breaks. Yo, hold up on SI. I'm like this. Yo, what's going on? I look. Yo, it's wild smoke coming out here. Smoke, visible smoke coming out of brake pads. I'm like, yo, son, what was you doing? What was you doing?
Yo, all I gotta say was going down. That's about it. The furthest I got. That's the furthest, you know what I'm saying? That's what it is. Let's go, Seneca.
My guy Seneca's in the building early. Yo, I'm saying that's and shout to Clarence. He said something. He said that's what rallying is all about.
Factory.
Miller, when
Just
we
driving.
take our rally runs, this is what we do. We drive.
Just drive.
So,
yeah.
With that being said,
I told my wife. I said, "Baby, I love you, but you can't come." I told her because she's physically not built for that drive. I mean, because when
she'd have been thrown around. Yeah,
she's not physically able to endure those turns and those hills because you're getting up there in age. You can't do but so much. So she was like, "Okay, Poppy, it's okay." So she already knew. She already knew it, and then but when I told her those two guys said that I was sick because I'm driving on this road with this truck.
Yo.
I didn't know how much respect I was getting. I didn't see it coming.
Yo.
That was the other wake up call.
Shout to the Brown Hornet for tuning in.
Let's
go. Shout to the Brown Hornet. He's tuned in right now. Salute early. It was a good time, Miller.
Yeah,
100%.
it was great. It was great. I mean, so now at least I have an inkling of what the Dragon's Tail will possibly entail for me.
So the Dragon's Tail, believe it or not, you got people who drive they trucks through there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
But
okay.
I will say this: it is way more blind turns. So
100%.
you see how where we was at, like you could see what was around the turns sometimes.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
And the Dragon's Tail ain't like that. It's like wall.
That's it. It's straight wall. It's straight wall and wild cliff.
Yo, exactly. It's wall and cliff.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
So it's serious. It's not as compact as that.
Mhm.
And imagine that lasting for another 15 minutes.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, I got music, so it's okay. I got music and I got some chips to snack on.
That's it.
It's gonna be hard to be snacking on chips when you're going through those turns.
That's a fact.
I know.
You get that chip grease on the steering wheel. That could be the end. You like this end.
That's a fact.
Yo, Miller,
All
with
right,
that being
guys.
said,
Let me let you go because you still got some more show to do, and
That's
it's already after 2.
that's a
But I
fact.
needed to get that call in, and I needed to say thank you for that great lesson and the camaraderie from the fellas. And it was fun. I will never not do it again. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm talking about, Miller.
Fact,
We appreciate you for
100%.
tuning in and rocking with us, and not only that, going on the road trip with us. The radios made it great.
Yeah, it did.
We
it
was
did.
able to talk
It
a lot
did.
of smack, and it gets better, man. Shout to everybody who's tuned in, paying attention. Shout to the Brown Hornet. He's rocking with us today. Yo, Miller, we gonna finish strong.
All right. The
All right,
struggle
kid.
continues.
The struggle continues.
Let's go.
Later.
Later.
Peace. Shout to my guy Miller, man. That was one heck of a run.
Factory.
Like I said, it's not your daddy's car culture.
Nah, it's not, man.
And this is one of the reasons why we get outside, because I don't want to be mixed in all of that.
Nah, me neither.
People drifting and sliding and jumping over cars thinking they getting trophies for that. It's crazy.
Yo, son.
He was like, winning's winning. I was like, this guy is hilarious. But
You almost had me? You never had your car.
you never had your car. It's hilarious. But with that being said, shout to everybody who's tuned in, paying attention, rocking with us. Don't forget, you know where to find us. Saturdays, 12 noon, YouTube.
Let's
At
go.
GutterballRally. You can find us at Bars and Hoops Radio.
Factory.
12 to 2. We did kind of go over our time here in Bars and Hoops, but we are still in the building. With that being said,
Let's go.
we're coming up on our next segment, and it's one of our more favorite segments. Here we go. You ready?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Legends of Auto. Real legends never die.
All right. What you got for us today, kid?
So today for this legend, man, I hope y'all enjoy this one. Let me give you a little snippet of what's going on with this car. Like I say, every legend's not without his faults, right?
Let's go.
So y'all know how the Skyline's going away.
Yes.
So I just had to, I had to talk about it briefly real quick. So the Nissan Skyline, originally produced by Prince Motors, though,
Yes.
in 1957. So it wasn't originally a Nissan Skyline at first.
Is it that?
Right? No, it was so I guess in a sense, it was originally called Nissan Skyline, but it wasn't produced by them
Yes.
or whatever like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what that was, right? It was available either in a 4-door or 5-door station wagon. Let's go.
Wow.
So it started his life out pretty interesting, right? Available to 1.5 liter GA30 engine. Not making too much power though, but that just lets you know, like, the Skyline has a very interesting, origin.
Yes.
For it to be what it is today, right? And for it to be going out in style, I like to call it.
Mm-hmm.
But however, though, right? So the two companies merged in 1966.
Yes.
So that's when it was Datsun or Nissan, whichever one you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
They merged in 1966, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in 1969, that's when the Skyline GTR came on the scene. Woo-hoo-hoo! That's when it started its GTR madness,
Early.
right? That's when it started its staggering winning. That's when it started this whole craze in the automotive world. And if you ask me, that car alone, like, it's a lot of these cars that single-handedly revolutionized the auto industry, son.
Yes.
And this definitely was one of the cars, right? Mm-hmm. So this car was revealed at the Tokyo Motor Show, though, in 1966, right? So at first, like I said, it had a 4-cylinder. Mm-hmm. Now it came with an inline 6, making about 160 horsepower.
Mm-hmm.
Series at the time, though,
yes.
Right? Series at the time. And that car was available from 1969 to 1972. That was a Skyline GTR, right?
Mm-hmm.
And not for nothing, though, in 1969, it was the GTR version. It was a touring racing car. And that's when it started.
Mm-hmm.
When it was a touring racing car, B. 4-door version. Remember, they didn't do the coupes yet. The coupes wasn't around yet.
Right.
So it was just a 4-door. This car right here, man, it holds a certain place in my heart because it was actually born a race car. Not like the Supra. The Supra is a Supra. Mm-hmm. But this Skyline right here, the GTR, was just a magnificent car, even though they did a little couple things from Porsche. But we ain't gonna talk about that. That's later on.
The 959.
Yeah, we're not gonna
controversy.
Talk about it. Yeah, that's later on, right?
Yes.
But the car was so great, man. Not for nothing though. In the Japanese domestic market, it won 52 races.
52.
Then, not the third. We talking about the early, early GTR.
Mm-hmm.
52 wins, B.
Mm-hmm.
So right there, I just want to let y'all know, like, this car is a lot more than we think it is. It's
a
Godzilla for a reason. That inline 6 bowed it for a reason. From then, it was bowed it.
Yep.
So I hope y'all enjoyed that legend. Have a lot more for the Skyline coming up, but I just want to give you a little history on it real fast. And
Let's go.
that's just a legend right there, son.
Legend in its own right.
Legends of Auto. Real legends never die.
That was actually tremendous.
That's a fact. And I gotta say this though, like, how do we expect legends like this to ever stay around forever? Can't. Like you said, unicorns are not forever.
No, unfortunately, and that's just the way that this car thing is made. It's like they just not gonna be around forever.
How we said it? Today's car culture is not your dad's car culture.
It's not your daddy's car culture.
That's
That is a fact. But with that being said, shout out to S.I Shawn. That was actually
Let's go.
Great Legends of Auto right there. But so many other different things going on. We're gonna jump right into this right here. We got something else popping up. Y'all ready for this? Here we go.
Mods, the newest and freshest. Modifications, parts, and fashion. Only on Rally Radio.
All right. So it looks like AC Schnitzer has done a Toyota Supra, and I could imagine the JDM culture going crazy.
Wow.
Because we already know that AC Schnitzer does mainly BMW cars. But it looks like they added more power, a new suspension setup, and key visual mods that makes these tuned Supras exquisite. Yes, they put suspension on it. They actually still kept the OEM look. However, they did put a nice set of wheels on it.
Yeah.
A lot of people is not going to respect it anyway, but I will say this. When it comes down to the Supra, we have to enjoy it.
I'm telling you, man, because it's about to be wrapped up too. This is it.
It's about to be a wrap. If you are not into this, I don't understand why, but watch what happens, though. They're going to pull this car off the street, and you know what's going to happen?
Like
everybody's going to want to buy one now.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm going to try to get my hands on that Supra. Why not just get it brand new right now with 3 pedals? I don't know. But
I don't know, kid.
With that being said, AC Schnitzer redoing the B58 in there is crazy. I think that's actually just goes to show like what this car can really do if you see somebody.
Yo,
really...
I'm telling you, man, this car is definitely a serious machine. And not for nothing, the other day, I seen a 45th anniversary one, the orange one, son. 6-speed. Never seen a 6-speed one. That was the first 6-speed one I ever seen rolling past.
And this is why I say we got to make sure
it was nice, kid.
Beautiful. That's why we got to make sure that we take care of these things, man. With that being said, you know how we get down. We are at our favorite part of the show before we end. Let's go.
It's the Understeer.
What up?
Where we like to ask, what the hell were you thinking?
Love this part. I can't front. This Understeer is going to hurt every car guy out, especially those dads out there in the car culture. Thieves steal a Buick Grand National, a 1980 Buick Grand National, and then crash it into nearly 20 cars. The owner of the rare Buick said he spent more than $150,000 on his dream car before it was taken. A Boston man saw his dream destroyed on June 10th when the 1987 Buick Grand National he loved was stolen and even worse, wrecked. The suspected thief wrecked the rare Buick after crashing it in between 15 and 20 different cars. On Monday afternoon, the thief used a screwdriver to steal Dennis Harrington's highly collectible Buick Grand National in the Dorchester area of Boston. Harrington told a news station, it turns out the suspect is not only a thief, but a terrible driver. The stolen Buick was spotted on home security video speeding down the street and crashed into a parade of parked cars. After causing damage to nearly 20 of the vehicles, the suspect climbed out of the Buick and fled on foot. Police are still looking for him. Now, the reason I'm putting the understeer out here is because if you have a 1987 Buick Grand National, there's no way somebody should just be able to walk up with a screwdriver and get to it. That thing needs to be put in the garage when it's not used, and you need to be sitting in it when it's on the street.
You know what? I agree with you, but what if it was one of those, I'm about to just run in the house real quick, or, you know, I'm in the house for an hour or something.
When does the thieves get you?
When you napping.
And this is exactly one. The thief is getting the understeer for driving the car and not being able to control it. But Dennis Harrington, I got to give you the understeer because you got to take better care of your legend, baby. With that being said, this one hurts. But it's an honest. We got to be honest here at Rally Radio. We don't get you for what you do. We get you for how you get caught doing it. And not for nothing, he got caught out there by the thief.
It's the Understeer.
What up?
That's real right
like
there.
To
That's
ask,
real. That's
what
real.
the hell were you thinking?
What the hell was he thinking?
He probably thinking it's an old 87.
You might as well. It's $150,000 you just spent on parts. That car need to be in the living room with me. And you live in a wild part of Boston too?
Oh nah, yeah.
Come on, son.
Yeah.
Come on. With that being said, we reached the end of the show. Shout out to everybody who's tuned in, paying attention. Who rocked with us? We appreciate y'all early. Got a lot of feedback today off of Twitter. Never seen that much feedback. But I appreciate it. We all appreciate it. Shout out to everybody who tuned in on YouTube. Don't forget, you know where to find us? YouTube at GutterballRally. We'll be here Saturdays, 12 noon. Don't forget, like, subscribe, share. We got a couple other videos coming out. Not only just our show, but we also have cars that we're building that we would like to expose you to and definitely get some of your feedback on it.
100%.
Let them know there's two guys out here that's talking about cars, talking about autos. Maybe not in the way that other podcasts are talking about them, but just as good nonetheless. And with that being said, shout to everybody who rocked with us. Shout to the Brown Hornet. Let's go Brown Hornet. Shout to Clarence Alexander.
Let's go.
Shout to my guy Marlon, resident Toyota guy. Shout to Seneca. Seneca's in the building early. Shout to Shaw Jr. You already know what it is. Let's go. Shout to Marlon again. Shout to Draco. Shout to SP the Don, Dar Spalding. Shout to Dr. Phil, Zoom for Zoom. Shout to everybody who tuned in to Rally Radio 12 to 2. You already know how we get down. We will be making our way back outside again. We're going to keep everybody abreast of what we're doing. But with that being said, you got any shout outs you want to give, kid?
Man, I just want to shout out to everybody who's been rocking with us, showing the love, spreading the love. That's what it is. We really appreciate that here on Rally Radio. And not for nothing, keep it cool out there when you're in them streets, man. Eat your Wheaties.
It's a fact.
Let's go.
And lock up them cars. I'm going to take
That's
my own
a fact,
advice.
So.
I'm going to take my own advice because at the end of the day, man, you got to, these thieves are wilding out here. So with that being said, shout to everybody who rocked with us, man. We appreciate y'all. We appreciate everybody who tunes in and rocks with us. We appreciate it early. So with that being said,
let's go.
Until next week, happy Father's Day.
Factory.
Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father. If you are a father figure, you an uncle, and you still, you stepping in, you helping out, we appreciate you. The one thing that they don't talk about Father's Day, and we're going to get up out of here, is that not everything is always going to be, it's not always going to be a happy time as a parent. You know what I mean? There's going to be times where, you know what, you got to make the hard decision.
Yeah.
You got to make the unpopular decision. And as you being the father of your household, you being the dad of your household, you are the one that take the brunt of mostly everything that happens. So that's one of the reasons why I believe Father's Day, along with Mother's Day, are great appreciation days, because you just need to know that you doing the right thing. So with that being said, man, 100%. We appreciate y'all, all y'all dads out there. Keep putting your kids in the driver's seat.
That's a fact, right?
So with that being said, until next week, we are out.
Drop the clutch, hit the gas. Rally Radio, where the fast life meets the fast lane.
Yeah.
You're now tuned into Bars and Hoops Radio. Where the world of hip hop and sports live.
Dropping the clutch and then I hit the gas. Wheels screeching, tires burning, I'm flying past. Gotta get home quick, don't wanna miss the class. They schooling you on whips and how to make them fast. Talking about everything from cars to plane. What's hot, what's next, and how to flip the game. They talk in my language, we speak the same. That whip talk complex, but yet they keep it plain. From the news, the interviews, they keep it cool. They give reviews, everything from parts to tunes. Can't lose, come to whips, they not no fools. Don't miss the show, the start time is noon. The bearded one, S.I Shawn, they crazy though. You can't miss it, tune in to Rally Radio.